and justice for all.
Which may be so perfect.
Well, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this night. We thank you for this meeting, and we thank you for this town. And we thank you, Father God, for you being in control. And thank you, Father, that everything's done decently and in order. And Father, that you help us conduct business in this town the way you would have us do it. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Roll call, please.
Rick,
Here.
Michael here,
Here.
Michael Ford,
Here.
Ms. Neat,
Here.
Renee.
Here.
Approve minutes of May board meeting. Any questions, concerns?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Michael Ford, second by Mr. Nate. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Approve financial reports.
You did have 2 months there, by the way. Y'all recall we had issues with the new system, but we got all that worked out, and we got May balance and closed out as well.
Do you have any questions, concerns?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Bruce. Have a second. Second. Second by Michael Pierce. Roll call.
Michael Ford,
Yes.
Denise.
Yeah.
Renee.
Here.
Okay.
Approve bills to be paid.
That's what I was looking for.
On the IPG grant reimbursement, that amount was funds received and funds went out. Is that a wash? Is that what that is?
Yes. That's the infrastructure planning grant where they're gonna map the sewer lines and all of that. They'll get started on that on June the 29th.
And the ARP reimbursement,
That's the American Rescue Plan for the water and sewer projects that we've had going on. That's the last payment for the work that's been completed.
so is that itemized? Is that what that is? And it's-
Yes, those are the 3 different vendors that I had to pay for that work and how it was broke down.
okay.
Our match on that, we received $281,000 and our match was $31,000. And that's the money that was earmarked years ago for that project. Y'all do have, 2 different things that we need to approve with the bills. The first one, y'all have got White and Associates in your packets. It's the workers' comp insurance. So when she was here a month or so ago and was talking about our deductible, and she did a study, and it looks like our best option is to take the $1,000 deductible on the workers' comp insurance because it will save us a couple $1,000s a year, and then some of our dividends. So we do have both quotes in there. We just have to decide if we do want to take the deductible or not.
What's the savings?
With the deductible, our total premium is $10,907 per year. Without the deductible, it's $12,121 per year, plus it changes the amount, the dividend rate that we did get, which we.
Lower premium.
Yes.
And have we already decided that we're not going back with the other one? Or is this just a quote to go with whatever the other one?
It's time for our renewal, and this is just a quote for us to renew the
Consider.
workers' comp policy. And
But we're just considering it.
yes, just if we want to lower, if we want to go to the deductibles, right now we have 0 deductible. But we don't have we have very, very few workers' comp claims. So right now, we pay nothing if we have a claim. If we do have a claim, we would pay $1,000,
But the savings will overcome that.
Right,
You save 2,100
Yeah.
yes.
plus the dividend.
And I'll let you handle the,
All right, so I got the USDA grant. We, they're not guaranteed or telling us that we're going to get it, but we had to turn some stuff in. So I did get quotes on a 60 horsepower tractor through, First Choice and also through, G&G Cycles. You know, got the prices here. The G&G Cycle one is actually cheaper than, it's $48,549 with a grapple. The Kubota is $58,795, and then you gotta add the grapple to it, which comes up to another $5,700. You're looking at about $67,000. So a significant amount difference.
Did we ever make a motion to pay the bill?
This is,
Part of
this is part of it.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry. Well, we went into that insurance thing, so
That's part of
So
it
we
as
don't
well.
know for sure, right, that we're gonna get it, but if we do get it,
The 25% match,
okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
and it comes off the top, just like the one we done last year.
So what are we paying? 25% match?
The grant will be a 25% match, if we get awarded the grant. We're not guaranteed it's gonna happen.
Not that part, but we're approving bills to be paid, so what are we paying? What amount are we paying?
The 48,000. Yes, 13.4 out of the 48, or the 50 rather.
That's what we would pay.
14.4, sorry.
So that 13, it's not required until upon approval of the grant.
Correct.
Usually August, we just have, he's gotta have an approved quote by the board so that we can move forward
So that wouldn't be
and
a,
request the exact
And we're
amount.
not, I mean, it's
so
not
that's
being
not a,
paid.
so that's, that wouldn't be included in the bills to be paid.
That's correct. It's not being paid. It's just gotta go through the bills for him to have a quote.
Okay.
And where would the money come from that we're required to?
Each year this will be, we've gotten a USDA grant every year I've been here. We've had the match every year and each year it's just put in the budget to pay that match so that we can get the equipment because you're getting the $60,000 tractor for $14,000.
So it's already in the
Yes,
budget.
so it's included in the street department's capital outlay.
And what was that amount for the insurance?
10,000.
Be the 10,000, if we go with $1,000 deductible, it'll be $10,907.
Now, Beth, we condemn the Civic Center,
Yes,
and that's a big part of that premium,
yes.
right? So,
I don't know if we need to take, I don't know how I feel like we would have to keep some type of insurance on it just for liability purposes, but as far as insuring the building, I don't know if we need to continue that. My goal is to get it cleaned out, what we're gonna clean out of it, so we can have the utilities cut off and cut that expense out as well.
you're gonna have to have insurance on the newer one.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it is, it's already been on the insurance, it was insured through the city when it was Family Dollar.
Okay.
So all I did was just let them know that we did change the ownership to the building and have the utilities put the city's name.
in actuality, it may be a little bit cheaper because it's brick instead of the homeowners.
But the main thing on right now is just waiting on the guys to have time to go down there where we can get the things out of it so we can just completely close it down.
Is the contents insured right now?
I'm sure.
Then why can't we? The contents, because we're not gonna use them.
Well, there's tables, there's stuff.
Tables and chairs.
Well, but I'm talking about
Are you trying to,
stove, the,
Appliances.
yes,
and you're
yes,
trying to reduce the cost?
yes. if we're not gonna use it? I
Is
mean,
there a
I know the tables and
Is there
stuff
a
is valuable.
liability? What's the liability risk for not having insurance?
If the front of the building falls.
If it falls in the street or hurts somebody, then.
Yeah.
Yes, so we probably need to have it
The
insured.
liability, the liability.
And the engineer said it's one good
One good
storm or
shaker.
one good, yeah,
But don't get
earthquake.
mad, Shane.
I'm just saying what he
The
said.
building might fall.
It could fall out in
He
the
said it's
street.
not my fault.
The building might fall. I have no more questions concerning the bill, so I make a motion to pay the bill.
Motion by Mr. Michael Pierce,
A second.
second by Ms. Craig, roll call.
Grace,
Yes, ma'am.
Michael Ford,
Yes.
Renee,
Yes,
Ray.
yes.
Do you wanna vote on those insurance in the track?
Yes. All right, do we have a motion to reduce the deductible
Yeah.
0%, save $2,100?
Second.
Motion by
That was my
Bruce,
first, I'm sorry.
second by Michael Pierce, roll call.
Michael Ford,
Yes.
Renee,
Yes.
Renee,
Yes.
Trey.
Yes.
Old business, first, second reading ordinance to amend water and sewer tap fees. I should have that in your. Here's the resolution, Mr. Mayor. This is time.
This is the
Yes, exactly.
second reading, right?
Yes, sir. Any questions or discussion?
That's the water rate.
We're not ready for that one yet.
This would be the tax fee.
This right here is the ordinance 13126.
So Shane, on the 535,000 it's said in DRA states economic
That's
development.
a different,
Oh, what, I'm looking at that resolution.
it's ordinance 13-126.
Y'all may not have a copy of that when you got it last month in your pipe. Is it in there?
I do.
Okay.
Is it?
Dash 126.
Here it is.
Still got that.
As a matter of fact, sir, I don't. That's the only one I guess I had to turn in my computer to have it worked on, and I'm using my son's computer. I guess that's why we're having such a hard time. But the ordinance, is that fair?
Yes.
The resolution for the ordinance is, the ordinance is to amend the town of Ridgely's code regarding water and sewer connection tap fees. This is under Title 13, and so we will be adding a section 126. We're going to kind of work our way back because we're going to be adding a section 125 as well. But this is to add section 126 to Title 13 for water and sewer connection fees. And basically what this is part of the TBOUR order. This will satisfy part of that TBOUR order to review our old tap fees. And so we will be raising the water and sewer tap fees. The water service line tap fees for new service connections, independent of meter sizes, will be $1,075. And for sewer lines for new connections, it will be $1,225 plus any additional costs, independent of pipe sizes. This changes ordinance Title 13-105 and Title 13-124 into one, 13-126.
What is the tap fee?
The tap fee currently, the past tap fee was $400, and that was for a 3/4 inch water line. This resolution would make that, it was $400 for in-town and $500 for rural. That is really an antiquated tap fee. And so what this is to get our tap fees to a reasonable price to where we're not losing money for each tap. So by raising the water tap fee to $1,075 and the sewer fee to $1,225 is a more reasonable rate comparatively to water districts in our county.
Will you explain what a tap fee is, though?
Yes, ma'am. What a tap fee is when you have a new residence come onto a line, the water department must tap the main line, and dependent on its size. So the water main lines in Ridgely are 4 inches. They must be 4 inches, or excuse me, 6 inches. They must be 6 inches because the fire codes regulate that all main lines must be 6 inches so we can fight fires. All water hydrants must be on a 6-inch line. So basically, initially what happens is the water service needs to go in, dig up and expose that main line, and then tap into the main line with a 3/4 inch service line that will then be fed to each individual meter. The sewer is a little bit different. The sewer is independent of meter size because there's no meter size on that sewer line. So basically what they will do is expose the sewer pipe, which in this case is concrete pipe or plastic pipe, and then they will tap into that with a 3-inch line, and that 3-inch line will then be run to each individual service.
That's really familiar. Thank you.
You're very
Thank you
welcome.
so much.
If you can understand what that kind of an operation involves, it involves a backhoe, it involves man hours, it involves material, it involves, it was $400, so reasonably it would take several hours and several $100s in materials to make that happen. And so it being $400 is not a responsible rate for a water utility to have. That's the utility losing money. And so at this rate, which is well below the state's median tap fee, it will at least allow the utility to be profitable in making each tap. This is for new connections.
Okay, only you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions? Sir?
Well, you told us what the previous was on the water. What was the previous on the sewage? Do you know?
The previous on the sewage was 500.
On that second page.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We've already passed the first reading on this.
Yes.
So we only need a motion for the second reading. Correct.
Yes.
So, motion.
Second.
Yes.
Motion by Michael Pierce, second by Ms. Renee. Roll call.
Bruce,
Yes, ma'am.
Michael Moore,
Yes.
Denise,
Yes, now that I understand it.
Are you ready, Mr. Roberts?
I am, sir. Thank you so much. Mr. Mayor, Board, it is nice to see you again. This is the culmination of many months' worth of work since the last that I came to your last board meeting. This all revolves around the Tennessee Board of Utility Regulations ordering us to do certain things because we were in a state of net deficiency. And so what they required us to do was to look at several of our policies and procedures If we did not have them, then we needed to create them. Just for an example, several of those were a rate study. So we had to do a rate study. And we had to find out if the water system was being profitable. Each water system must meet a minimum operating ratio. And what an operating ratio is simple. It's the change over what you're expending and over what you're bringing in. So the minimum state's operating ratio that's required by the comptroller's office is a 1.1. On the water side, we required a 14% increase in the water rates to meet that operating ratio over a 5-year period. On the wastewater side, it was a little bit more extreme. I believe it was around 28% to meet that minimum's operating ratio. So what that proves is the rates were lower than what they should be for the water system to be profitable and to prepare for future anticipated and unanticipated needs, is what we need to do there. So I believe we've passed the water and wastewater rates. We needed to review the leak adjustment policy. That's one of the policies that we did not have, was a leak adjustment ordinance. And so let's first look at the leak adjustment policy. This is the town's leak adjustment policy that I created. I believe you have already reviewed this on the board. The board has already reviewed the policy. Let's revisit it because we're going to have to adopt in the duly procedure way for mayor and board of aldermen the actual ordinance this time. And so that's what I was referring to as the addition 125. That was 126 that we just passed on the second reading. And so we're going to go right back to 125 here in a moment. But this is the leak adjustment policy. Basically what this is it gives a definition of when the water system should give a customer a leak adjustment. And it outlines those criteria. And what we've outlined here is several different criteria here. This is our rate structure. So we have a really complex rate structure here. A 3/4 inch city, 3/4 inch rural, a 1 inch city, 1 inch rural, a 1.5 inch city, a 2 inch city, a 2 inch rural, and a 3 inch city. And these are the base rates that we just adopted. And the volumetric rates per 1,000. The sewer rates will be adjusted accordingly to the new rates that were adopted in town and out of town, and then the volumetric rate. The reasoning behind our rates, our leak adjustment, and then the sewer policy on stoppages, but this is the important part here, the billing adjustment. So the town of Ridgely may consider a utility adjustment for only the following reasons. For clerical billing or reading errors that are on the part of the town, a proven malfunction of a water meter, a leak adjustment in accordance with an approved policy, or Ridgely's water system will offer a one-time adjustment for a recreational pool fill-ups in a one-time for a 12-month period. This adjustment would only be for the sewer billing, as that water would not find its way into our collection system and then into our wastewater treatment lagoon. What to do if the system or the resident suspects a leak? And then, of course, leaks on the municipal side of the water line. Our policy on how we will test our meters to make sure of their accuracy. And then, of course, all water adjustments must be made in writing at City Hall on this leak adjustment credit form, which is in the back of the amendment. The amendment is here. Here is the leak adjustment form. that each individual must fill out. And then, of course, it must be followed by a supporting document for a no repair receipt documentation form. So if it was found that there was a leak, let's just say, for example, if you went on vacation and you left your toilet running and you come back from Jamaica and a week later you've used 3,000 gallons of water because your toilet was running. Well, that is your responsibility. Or let's say you had a line repair or a frozen line under your house broke. This policy does not make it the responsibility of the water system to pay for that water. That is the homeowner's responsibility to make sure that their plumbing is in perfect working order, and it does not give that responsibility to the water system. And so that is the leak adjustment policy. Now then, of course, that leads us to the ordinance, the leak adjustment ordinance. And this ordinance you have not seen. This must be passed in the due and proper way. This will be the first reading of this resolution. This is resolution 13-125, leak adjustments. This resolution adopts section 125 to title 13 for the municipal code of Ridgely to add section 125 to leak adjustments, which would give the town the authority to grant a leak adjustment, to collect payment for a leak adjustment, and to enforce a leak adjustment. And so we will go over this since it's the first reading. What we need to do is do it in the proper way. So someone must make a motion to open the floor for discussion on approving the reading for the leak adjustment, and then it must be seconded.
To clarify, we've not set new rates yet. You said we'd already adopted that.
Oh, okay, you have not done so.
No, we've not done that yet.
Okay, are you going to do that in the next meeting?
Well, I mean, we're going to discuss it tonight.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
There's some questions that I've got about it.
okay, yeah, no problem. Thank you for correcting me, sir.
Okay.
So, this is Title 13-125 leak adjustment. This is an ordinance to amend Chapter 13 with the addition of a Section 125 of the Ridgely Municipal Code. This did not exist in the codes, to establish standards and limits regarding the adjustments of water and sewer billing. The town's billing clerk has the authority to adjust for water and wastewater service affected by water leaks. Number 2, the adjustment shall be as follows. You will add the gallons for the use of the previous 6 months to obtain a 6-month average, and then you will divide that by 2 to calculate for the amount of water in gallons for the adjusted use. The billing clerk will report all monthly adjustments made on leak adjustments to the mayor and board of aldermen. Once the town suspects that there is a leak and notifies the customer, or if the town can determine whether the customer discovers the leak, the town shall notify the customer of the suspected leak. No adjustment shall be made for any period of time after 15 days, or for minor repairs after 30 days of the noticed leak. The customer shall repair the leak in a timely manner and must make the adjustment request in writing by using the application for the leak adjustment credit and the supporting no repair receipt documentation form upon request at City Hall, or by viewing the leak adjustment policy. This is a document that is open for you. Should be made available for you. This is a document that can be scrutinized by you, and so it will be made available to all customers. You should refer to the leak adjustment policy, which we just reviewed, for water and sewer leak adjustments, whereas the town of Ridgely may consider utility adjustments for the following reasons only, which we just discussed in the leak adjustment policy. And this ordinance shall be in effect on the final passage the public welfare requiring it. So, this is an amendment to a resolution to amend a ordinance, and so we must make a motion, and it must be seconded in a due and proper way.
Do we have a motion?
I make a
Go
motion.
ahead, hold.
I'm sorry.
Motion by Renee, hold on just a second. Have a second?
Second.
Second by Michael Pierce. Roll call.
Bruce,
Yes.
Michael Ford,
Yes.
Denise,
Yes.
Stryker.
Go ahead, Evans.
Thanks, you mentioned the water meter check. How often does the water meter need to be checked? If it's correct or not?
That's a very good question, sir. Thank you so much. A water meter is required to be checked and changed. It has a lifespan. The Environmental Protection Agency recognizes that a water meter has a lifespan of 10 years.
Well, that was my question. I built a house 16 years ago, and my water hasn't been checked since.
Your water meter hasn't?
No,
So every time that
probably nobody's has been checked.
the way that they do the recording here is every time they go out to do a monthly check, they will go to your meter, they will check your meter by physically looking at the numbers and do a check of the meter to make sure that it is, of course, in working order. It is the responsibility of the water system to look at all of those previous usage amounts to deduce if it is reading correctly or if it is not reading correctly. If anything looks out of the ordinary, it's the responsibility of the water operator to notice that.
It should be.
Yes, it should be. And of course, you know, that's the way they do the reading. So your meter is actually visually inspected every month that they go out to check it. Yes, ma'am.
I think you clarified, but I just want to double
Feel free.
You said that 15 days after notice to get the leak fixed, it just
You have
say,
30 days. 30 days. But you have 15 days after the bill, after you receive
okay,
your bill.
that was my question.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
But you have 30 days to actually fix the leak. Now, the supporting documentation that goes along with that was the receipt repair or no receipt repair. So if you were to bring in a receipt, say, Mr. Mayor, I had a leak. This is why I had a leak. Now, the mayor can always say, ma'am, we recognize this issue. We see that it's a problem. We'll give you a water adjustment. Of course, the document states why we would, but the mayor has the authority to give anybody a leak adjustment for any reason that he sees fit. And this board. Right. So your husband put a nail in a pipe and it leaked and you didn't realize it until you got your bill. Mr. Mayor, I would like to fill out this leak adjustment form because my husband stuck a nail, and he would say, well, I've done it myself. Of course, we will allow you to get a valid leak adjustment. Or of course, he could say no.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
How does a leak adjustment impact the water shortage?
Well, that's a good question. If you have a leak, of course, it could be considered non-revenuable water because you've lost water, right? But you're reading meter from month to month and you're still charging for that volumetric usage. So you're capturing it, right? We're capturing it. Most leaks occur in mains. Most leaks occur where you're not capturing it. So there is a loss, sir, but it's a loss that is caught per billing cycle. Most leaks, people aren't looking at their bill. Believe me, everybody's looking at their bill every month. They're seeing their bill. They're checking their bill. Well, why is my bill $15 more this month than it was last month, right? So these are well-checked instances of water loss. Other instances at mains, main breaks, line breaks, those are the ones that are really where water loss comes from. Significant losses, yes.
Thank you.
What's gonna happen if we do go to the new water meters where it's gonna be red?
That system is designed, it'll be better because when we come into work the next day and somebody's got a leak, it's gonna tell us.
But the young man was saying that, every water meter that who goes out and read it they're not gonna be doing that, right?
Well, actually, what's going to happen is when you have electronic or computerized water meters, that's what we're going to, right? What happens is every time you pass by that, you will have a almost instantaneous reading, right? And so you'll be able to see what your billing is, what your consumption is. If there is a huge gain, then you'll be able to see that. So you won't have to wait for as much, which is a great thing. That's what you want to do. You want to. So that's the first reading.
So when you're reading your meter and they know it's higher than it used to be, they don't let you know that you got a leak. So how will we know until we get the bill?
We do. Jackie, if the system flags it that your usage is up, Jackie immediately gives them a list. They when she reads a couple of books, she'll give them a list and say, I need you to go reread these meters. And if that reading is still consistently high and they don't see that the meter's spinning or whatever, if they don't see that there's a problem, or let's say they do see the meter spinning, she'll have them bring a letter and put it on your door that says that we suspect you, we do this every month, that we suspect you have a water leak and you need to contact the plumber. And then our guys, if we feel like it might be something on our end, then we send our guys out so that they can check the meter and make sure that it's not on the city side. We know which side it's coming from. And then we'll assist you with trying to see if it's a toilet leak. We keep tablets on hand at City Hall, things like that. So they do. If you've ever got really, really high consumption, you'll have a letter on your door as soon as we're aware.
I've never had one, but on my door I have had a higher bill before, and they gave me the strip or whatever to put in the commode to see if it was leaking. That's why I asked.
Yeah, she does it if it's like a significant, like if it's just a few dollars more, $15, $20 more, she doesn't do that because a lot of people are putting water in pools and using sprinklers and things like that. But if it's a significant amount where we know that there's definitely something going on, she does contact the homeowners. But if you get your bill and you see it's high, you have to just call and we'll send somebody out to get it checked for you.
Water leaks in residential homes rarely go unnoticed. A homeowner would know if their toilet's running. A homeowner would know if there's a leak in the house because water is visibly seen on the floor. Of course, underneath the house, it might be a little different. In the yard, water would puddle in the yard, so you would see. Of course, water is under high pressure, so you would hear water. Of course, water is affected by gravity, so it would constantly make a dripping sound. There are several ways to notice if you do have a leak, and so it is the responsibility of each homeowner to visually inspect their plumbing to make sure that there is no leak.
Thank you, sir.
Which one are you looking to?
Excuse me.
Okay, so that's the first reading. Next month, on next month's reading, you will read that as the second, and then someone will have to make a motion to approve it and adopt it, and then it will become ordinance. This is the town of Ridgely's capitalization policy. This is the policy that I created that, of course, did not exist. This is all of these policies are under the TBOUR order. So this gives the town of Ridgely guidance for capitalization. And so this is the capitalization policy here. It's the guidelines, the policy, the acquisitions, The capitalization for construction, capital projects, both major and minor, the capitalization of land, of office buildings, even furniture and computers, intangible assets. This outlines the useful life of our assets and gives definitions to them. And then, of course, the Accounting Standard Board statement. This is a 17-page document, but it does have links. This is in accordance with the Governmental Accounting Standard Board, number 34. And so this meets all of the requirements to suffice for our capitalization guidelines to satisfy TBOUR's order. This outlines all of our assets, water, land, wells, equipment, vehicles, structures, telemetry, basically everything. And this is a guideline and guidance on how we will treat our capital assets. This discusses the capital assets depreciation policy, the disposal of all of our assets. This outlines how we will dispose of our assets once they have outlived their useful remaining life. As I mentioned before, all assets have a useful remaining life. For example, a water tower has a life of 60 years. A hydrant has a life of 50 years. A meter has a life of 10 years. And so this outlines how they will dispose of it, how we will make capital acquisitions, the construction process, how we will handle our construction in process, the guidelines and the guidance for our capital projects, how we will manage those, our capital improvements, replacements, the maintenance of all of our assets, of course, the capitalization of land. Land is an asset. The capitalization of our office buildings. Our communication and furniture is an asset. Our intangible assets. And then, of course, this is the EPA's guidelines on the life expectancy of all of our assets. As you can see, it itemizes assets, and then, of course, it gives a useful life or a life expectancy for each one of our assets, according to the Environmental Protection Agency's recommendation. Exhibit 2 defines our capital assets, and Exhibit 3 is all of the supporting documentation on how I created the capital asset management plan. So there it is. All these documents, we're feathering through them awful quickly. You know, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but upon request, this document is assuredly to be made available to you. This is a document that can be scrutinized by you. This is, of course, another document that's going to have to, did you pass the debt management policy?
No,
It's going to be done tonight?
actually we did the capitalization. Yeah.
The debt management policy, so this, of course, is a resolution. I left the number blank because I don't know where you are on your resolution numbers, so I did leave it blank. But, of course, this is another document that you will have to address in the due and proper way for a mayor and board of aldermen. This is a resolution adopting the town of Ridgely, Tennessee's debt management policy. This is how we will manage our debt that will satisfy the Tennessee Bureau of Utility Regulations. So you have not done the first reading on this?
No.
Okay. So we will spend just a little bit of time Whereas the Tennessee State Funding Board adopts a statement on debt management, all municipal systems must have a debt management policy. And so this satisfies that requirement. This law went into effect on the 31st of December in 2011. Whereas the purpose of the debt management policy is to establish a set of parameters by which debt obligations will be undertaken by the town of Ridgely, Tennessee. The goal of the debt management policy is to assist decision makers in planning issues and managing debt obligations by providing a clear direction as to the steps, substance, and outcome desired. In addition, greater stability over long term will be generated using consistent guidelines in issuing debt. Therefore, it be resolved by the board and mayor of aldermen of the town of Ridgely, the following will take effect after the passage of its second reading, this being in the welfare requirement. This defines debt, how we will approve debt, the role of our debt, our long-term debt, our debt limits. What will be our debt limits? We set that at $1 million. The use of variable rate debt, the derivatives of debt, the costs of our debt, the general obligations of our debt. It even outlines how we will finance our outstanding debt. The terms of refinancing, the types of professional services that we'll use. Any conflicts of interest. That is the town's debt management policy. And so you must make a motion to approve. It must be seconded. Do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. Motion by Bruce, second by Michael Ford. Roll call.
Michael Pierce,
Yes.
Denise,
Yes.
Renee,
Yes.
Yes.
can we go ahead and do the capitalization next
Yep.
to get that one out of the way?
No, we went over the capitalization.
Yes, we went over the capitalization.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
By Michael Pierce, second by Ms. Renee, roll call.
Bruce,
Yes, ma'am.
Michael Ford,
Yes.
Denise,
Yes.
Frank.
Next up on our list is the justification for the inside and outside water and sewer rate structures. And this, of course, is a document that will satisfy the TBOUR order. This is the reasoning behind our inside and outside city water and sewer rate limits. Is there any questions about why there is a difference between an inside water or sewer rate and an outside water or sewer rate? Does everyone understand that? The farther away from your treatment facility, the more energy it takes to get that water service to you. And of course, the same for sewer. So the reasoning behind this is to reduce the cost on the water and sewer system. It protects the inside and outside customer for any arbitrary rates. It recognizes that the outside the city service costs the utility more to provide those services for customers, and it helps the Ridgely administrators direct limited financial resources toward operational stability, regulatory compliance, and long-term infrastructure stability. The administrators of Ridgely's utility feel that by recognizing practical cost differences while maintaining appropriate regulatory oversight, the adoption of inside city and outside city rate structures can promote equitable cost recovery, enhance utility financial health, and support the continued provisions of safe and reliable water and wastewater services to all of its customers.
They're just voting to adopt this one.
They're just voting to adopt this one.
I've got a question.
Yes, sir.
Like you're looking at your 3/4 inch city is going from 1751 to 2167, which is a 20% increase.
Yes, sir.
All right, you look at your rural, and it's only a 14% increase.
Well, that's for water. The
I
water's
understand that.
only going up 14%. Wastewater's going up, what was it, 28%?
Well, but according to my figures here, the in city is going up 20%. From where we are today to where we're going. 1751 to 2167.
That's based on usage. The reasoning behind that is your 3/4 inch customers, this is all based on usage. This is all based volumetrically. Okay, percentage volumetrically. So it's all based on usage. Now, I'm sorry I don't have this in front of me, but I'll do it as best as I can from memory. We can talk about this in more detail when I get back to my computer. But here's the reasoning behind it. Your 3/4 inch in-city customers are using, on average, 1,400,000 gallons per month, right? Your outside 3/4 customers are only using 1/4 of that, okay? So this is all based on volumetric equality, okay? And so your 99% of your usage is on your 3/4, your moms and pops, your grandparents, and your children, you know? And so in order to equalize that, in all fairness for water usage, right, it does not put a strain on the 3/4 inch outside. So it's all based on water consumption. And it promotes water conservation. So it's all based on usage. It's all based off the percentage of consumption.
That's nice, fancy talk. Make it make sense, dollars and cents to mom and pop. When you're going from 1751 to 2167, that's a $4 increase.
Yes,
That's 23%. I did the math.
well, I'll put it to you like this. You lost $40,000. You know what I mean?
Don't talk to me, talk to them.
Yes. You were in negative net deficiency, okay? Which means your water system was losing money, which means that's a bad thing, right? So in order for the water system to become profitable, you must meet the state's minimum requirement of a 1.1 operating ratio. Your current operating ratio is a 0.86. And so what that means is you're not only hemorrhaging water, you're hemorrhaging money. And that's not hurting these people, that's hurting you. Right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, that's hurting you, okay? Because once we get, now the way that I prepared the water and sewer rate structure was that would have given us a 5-year period where we would increase the rates. So in 5 years, in 2031, the operating ratio will be a minimum of 1.1. That means in 2031, we must reevaluate our rate structure. We'll only have to raise it by a few percentage. So that's the long and short of it. This water system and this wastewater system, quite frankly, is hemorrhaging.
So tell us what happened. How did we get to a 20% increase today as opposed to the 1% that we could have had?
Okay, that's a great question. You did not raise your rates on a regular basis.
Come back from when you, I mean, how do you do it?
That's the long and short of it. Your rates are were antiquated, right? And so costs went up, chemicals went up. You had to pay your operator more money. You had to make more repairs. Your system was put in the 1960s. It's old.
What was the last rate?
The last rate
Rate increase.
increase
24.
was in 2024. But you rose your rates without doing a study. You just rose your rates. You said, okay, let's raise our rates because we know we need to raise our rates. But you didn't do a study to find out what your operating ratio was. So although you did proactively raise your rates, you did not raise your rates to meet the state's minimum. So you rose your rates basically just to stop the bleeding, but it didn't stop the bleeding.
Well,
Still,
go ahead.
So why wasn't this caught years ago?
That was my question.
It's been on the radar for years. It just brought up with us.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why wasn't it caught earlier? Instead of us,
It didn't happen overnight.
that's what I'm saying.
It did not.
And we can't answer that.
it did not happen overnight.
Because-
Probably the most convenient definition would be this, and this is just the honest truth.
Mhm.
Previous mayors and boards of aldermen did not give this the attention that it deserved.
So, is there a way that instead of making the big rate increase that we could do 5% or 3% one year and it
That's a
continue
good
on?
question. That is a very good question. No.
Why are we
I mean-
paying for it? Why are we having to pay our bill, our bills are to get that back in order?
Because you have not been paying your fair rate.
No, they have not been doing what they're supposed to do. And that's why we're paying for it. I'm saying,
I work for the water department.
Unfortunately.
Hold on. Down
Please come forward if you have a question.
Hold up.
Let's do it in a
Go ahead, Ms.
orderly
Pam.
fashion, but let everybody come in, please.
Go ahead, Ms. Pam.
And we had the Water Quality Board on us years ago,
Yes, ma'am.
and the agreement that they gave us at that point, they said if you'll show an increase, and they said 2 to 3% a year, and we did 3 most of the years. We never missed a year until last year. That they would work with us and leave us alone, so that should work.
Well, they worked with you and they left you alone until you got a negative net deficiency. Sir?
My question was, what effect do the population have to?
That is a good question.
there was not.
This was put into the rate structure. What is the growth of Richland, right? Is it 1%? Is it 2%? Is it losing?
Negative.
Percent.
Negative.
Is it losing?
Because of negative growth, right, take things up.
Yeah,
No, sir. No, sir.
Let's explain.
I mean,
The individual company does pay for it.
the cost of everything's went up. I'm totally against raising anything. But if you look at the handout I passed out, we're several dollars less than Tiptonville.
Yes.
They make the same gallon of water for the same amount of money.
Yes.
Our water, we don't make it any cheaper, or they don't make it any higher.
Yes.
Oh,
Your rates were too low for too long, and now you're the people who are paying the price.
a 2.5, I just done it, 2.5 to 3% increase is gonna amount 45 to 50 cents. So I mean, that's not enough.
It's not enough. Unfortunately,
Can I ask,
please.
and I do understand that, like everything is going up and sometimes you have to do stuff, suck it up, buttercup. But is there any way, I feel like we're going from like 0 to 20. Is there any way that we can like gradually to kind of prepare ourselves?
Yeah. The answer to that is no.
That's what it's.
Okay.
You
So
have,
the 23%
you-
but why?
is bare
But why?
minimum.
because you have no option here.
Okay, when is this supposedly going into effect?
On August the 1st. No, sir. You have no option.
But how long will it
wish
be
that you
before
did.
we have to do another rate increase?
2030.
So we'll stay at this rate, whatever we vote on the rate that we choose
Will stay the
will
same.
stay the same until
2031.
2031.
Now, I love to say you have options. I love to come with you with options.
I would love to have one.
Well, you do have it. You do. You do. You have three options. You have three options. You can raise just the base rate. You can raise just the volumetric rate, or you can raise the base and volumetric rate. That is what we decided on, so it wouldn't be too much for the base price. It would be fair, equal, and equitable across the board for all of the customers of Richland. This was done in that manner.
I do see that, but like the 1,000-gallon cutoff is what's getting me. That is, from my understanding, that's kind of rare to hit 1,000 or less.
It is.
So
It is.
you're gonna
Most
get
customers
that
use
multiple.
3,000. Most residential water customers use 3,000, 3,500 gallons of water per month. And that's a family of four.
Well, my family,
Well,
you know.
unfortunately, you have no options. You
Well,
must
if you're using
obtain.
1,000 or less, you're only gonna have that rate one time on your bill. But if you're like mine and you're using 7,000, then you've got that rate times 7 added to your bill.
Well, for each additional 1,000 gallons,
It's
for
an
each additional 1,000 gallons, it's going to raise to, what did we raise it for 5? For a 3/4 inch?
Hey, Mr. Robert, I got one question.
Yes, sir.
Frankie.
Pam answered most of it, but the main thing was, I didn't realize, I thought y'all had a water increase last year, but up until last year, we've had a 3% increase for how many years, Pam?
Every year.
Every year for, I know, 12, 14 years. And Steve White with, the state, with MTAS, are you familiar with Steve?
Yes.
Steve is the one that stood right here in this meeting and addressed the board and told us if we maintained a 3% increase each year, that we would satisfy the state's need. And now, or did that, what happened there? Because we did 3% every year
Yes, sir.
until last year.
Yes, sir.
2 years.
His math was wrong.
So the state is wrong.
Unfortunately.
The change, he did, he told us long
I've heard that, but I mean, still, 60 cents is not.
I mean, I understand,
With
but
what we got going on.
it's not
I'm not
this
doing that.
board's fault or the previous boards, because we done what the state told us to do.
And my thing is still, I just don't get the 20% for in-city and 14% rural. I mean, it still costs the same. I understand it takes more to get it to the rural, but I mean, I'm not happy with that. I mean, it ought to be equal or it ought to be flip-flop.
Well, of course, that's what you can do. That's your decision. But previous administrations set up their rate structure based on an inside-outside usage. In answer to your question, I'm being honest with you. No, you don't have an option. You're hemorrhaging money. You're in negative net deficiency. If you continue, the state will take over your water system.
And so if that happens, then what does that look like?
That means that the state's going to set the rates that they deem responsible. And you will be paying the state's
I
rate.
didn't hear you. What did you say? I'm sorry.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
It wasn't you.
You have no options. I wish you did. This is not my feelings or anything. This is mathematics. You have one option. You must make this rate increase. If you don't, next year, you will be in negative net deficiency for 2 straight years. Once that happens, the Tennessee Board of Regulations will make a decision for you. You will be under the guise of the Board of Regulations, the board. These people will have nothing to do with it. Your rate increase will be what the state tells you it will be, not what they want for you. But the state will do the same. They will get you to a 1.1. So you can either do it this way or you can do it that way, but you will get to a 1.1, whether you like it or not. That's just the long and the short of it.
Our other question is, as of right now, the way the rates are, it's 35% difference between city and rural. Then you're dropping 31% on the new rates. Why is it not the same?
Again, Mr. Mayor, it's all based on number of customers, the percentage of customers under that meter category that you have put together, and that it's based on actual
I
consumption.
understand that, but my biggest thing is once we get to the wastewater part, that's my biggest gripe.
Well, the wastewater is just based on in town and out of town.
Understand that.
But you've got big wastewater problems. You
I
know,
heard
you've
But I don't
got,
think our citizens ought to have a 40% increase.
well, it's only 28%. It's a 28%
The way I'm doing
increase.
numbers, your numbers, we're not, our math's not math. I mean, if I took 1350, 22.41, I'd get 40%.
That's 40% over what the current is, yes. So it is an increase of that. Yes, sir, it is. You're exactly right.
I mean,
That will give you a gain. That's a 40% gain in revenue.
I understand
yes.
that, but that's a 40% bill to the citizens.
On top of the 20%.
I mean, right now, the way our water and our sewer is, our water is higher than our sewer, but it's
Yes.
gonna flip flop if we adopt this right here. Our water's gonna be higher, our water's gonna be less than our sewer's gonna be more. I mean, I get that we got issues. I know we're on the director's order, we're constantly getting that worked on.
Yes,
But, I mean, to do a 30% increase average, that's extreme. I mean, I understand
Well-
we've got to do it.
well, you're in a lot better shape than a lot of systems in West Tennessee. The long and the short of it is, you must meet a 1.1 minimum operating
I
ratio.
understand that. And just like
You
David
have,
said,
you have not. I think your current operating ratio for your wastewater system is a 0.84, a 0.85.
but here's one thing needs to be taken into consideration. We've got 900 and some odd meters, 920 or 30. It's not all of them are 3/4.
Yes.
But we got a lot of meters that are reading well over 1.5 million gallons. And I know they're not
Yes.
reading accurately. So when we get those changed out, if we get this grant, then people are fixing to really see an influx in their bill.
Okay,
Because they're gonna start being metered and paying for what they actually get.
that's a great question, Mr. Mayor. And so again, this is based on consumption. So when you do make this change, when you do go to radio read meters, right? You will get an accurate reading on consumption. You're exactly right. Your meters are antiquated. Your meters should have been changed out long time ago, way before this board came in. Your meters should have been changed out.
So if we do that and get those meters, then we got the opportunity to reduce our rates at some point.
That was gonna be my question. Could it be possibly a reduction, 3 years from now, 2 years from now?
What we will do is I will every single year that you have your audit, we will revisit this every single year.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
We need that.
Yeah, we do.
We're gonna
Not
get a
to
lot
be in
more
the shape
questions
that-
answered as well when Mr. Jim speaks on water as well.
You're right.
So
You're
the
welcome.
new rate is guaranteed
You're welcome.
until 31.
At this rate, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. It is. It's guaranteed until 2031. This will actually, what the rates will do is your rate will go from a 0.86. If you make this increase in 2027, it will jump exponentially to a 1.25. So you'll be making money hand over fist. Okay? You'll be level with the playing field where you actually need to be. Then over the course of the next 4 years, it will gradually fall from a 1.25 to a 1.1. Then in 2031, you will only need to make a very minimal increase. However, we can look at this as much as you want to. This is mathematics. Okay? This is plus and minus. It's simple mathematics. Okay?
Mr. Kelley, did you just said, 1.25, that's what it would be, right? Is that what you said?
It will jump exponentially, yes, because you will see,
The state is only required to have 1.1,
yes,
correct?
yes.
So then we are doing more than what we have to.
Well,
We're catching up.
because we are making this increase, we will see it jump exponentially. Yes, over that first year, it will jump exponentially because we are making money based on our usage. Then in 2027, it will begin to fall gradually, steadily, at a controlled rate. It
But our
will
rates
fall.
won't fall.
No,
We'll be stuck in that 1.25.
no.
At least
It will
till
go from
31.
it will go from 1.25, then it will drop to a 1.23, then it will drop to a 1.2, then it will drop to a
Our rates
1.9.
now? Like,
No,
what-
no,
your operating
just what
your
it's saying.
operating ratio.
Yeah.
Your operating
Basically,
ratio.
The money's not
The rates
changing.
stay the same, but our expenses will still have the increases that are
Exactly.
normal.
So
Now-
we're using, the rates will be going down per se, but we'll still be paying that money. So it's like we're paying the county extra every year, correct?
Well, you're not paying the county for anything.
City.
You're
The
paying.
city, sorry.
Yeah.
It sounds real familiar. Sorry.
Well, in all actuality, ma'am, yes, your operating ratio will see a huge jump. The operating ratio is simply what your revenue is over what your expenditures are. Okay? So yes,
So at
you
that
will be
5 year mark,
making more money than what you're expending. Right now, you're expending more money than what you're making by
Right.
$40,000.
I get that.
Right.
So at the
So
5
you've
year
got a
mark,
lot to get up. You
at the
got
5
to
year
catch up.
mark, we should have, the city should have ample amount of money so that we can go down. on
No.
the rate.
No.
You're still going.
Okay,
In
okay,
5
all right.
years, in 5
Well,
years.
listen, you gotta explain it like a 5-year-old.
That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, the cost of expense of making water is still gonna continue going up.
So each year for the
So
next
then our
5
rate
years,
could possibly go up.
No,
after 5
no.
years.
No,
No,
for 5 years, the rates stay the same, but our expenses are gonna go up, so each year we're gonna make less and less money. And then in 2031, when it's reevaluated, and we see, okay, yeah, maybe we can lower rates, or no, we can't lower rates, we gotta go up 2%. We won't have to increase it as much, because we've done this and we've got ourselves out of the hole that we're in right now. And it's just, I had Mr. Jim in my office earlier today. I'm just gonna use him for an example, because what he told me, just maybe this will help you understand. COVID, brass, we use a lot of brass couplings, fittings, things like that. The price of those things skyrocketed, but we only increased our water 2 or 3%. So we started paying a lot more for this brass and these pipes and our insurance and gas and all of these other things that we have to
Manpower.
buy. Manpower. We started paying a lot more for that, but we only increased the rates a couple percent. So what we were increasing was not enough to cover what we were spending for the past several years. So it just got worse and worse and worse. And this is the way to get us out of the hole and move toward the future and get where we need to be.
So at that 5-year mark, then we should be out of the hole? Is that what
And then we do another rate study
Yes,
and we
you're
set it
exactly
for
right.
a small,
Yes.
it would be a
in
smaller.
5 years.
Needless to say, you won't get another 100% increase in 5 years.
In 5
good
years,
job,
yes.
Shelley.
Yes, in 5 years, next year, if you make this increased rate, next year you will be out of the hole. In 5 years, you will still be out of the hole. In 6 years, in 6 years, you're gonna have to start thinking about another increase.
The only
But it won't be
question I got to that what I'm hearing here is the same thing that we heard 12, 14 years ago, because then it was 15%.
Yeah.
If we go up 3% over 5 years, which would allocate the 15% that the state wanted, we would be out of.
We didn't
not gonna- it's not-
expect
the operating
COVID,
cost
we
every
didn't
year.
expect
Yeah, the
lots of
operating
things to
cost is
happen.
the same, I mean, it goes up every year. I mean, you can't run your business for the same as you did
I
last year.
understand that, but I mean, the rhetoric is still the same, is that
It's the same
You
concept.
still
We
got-
didn't do
you still gotta
it.
have the-
Now we're
There's no
paying.
ifs, ands, or buts about that.
Go for that.
Are we good?
How did you get his?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Because of the previous mayors and boards.
Yeah,
So
he said
we
that.
wanna let you know that we need to vote on this.
He said that.
That's why.
And that's, and we wanna do that too, because that's been our concern with this.
That's what I'm saying, though, that's how we got to where we're at now.
Right.
Yeah, instead of making
But
ample
we-
amount of
but you-
percentage raises, we
They're
do.
trying to keep up with what we should have been, you know, we're trying to hold the cost down to the city.
Yeah.
He has-
Exactly. I mean, that's what's happening.
Go ahead, ma'am.
A big concern of mine is we're such a poor county
Yes,
and we have so many elderly people
yes,
may not draw $500 a month.
yes.
That's what.
I mean,
That was our concern.
I agree.
That's my biggest
I
concern.
understand completely.
I can't pay it.
I understand completely. My people came from Pea Ridge, on Darnell Point. You know, they came up from Kentucky Bend. They were cotton farmers. They were cotton pickers. You know what I mean? My great grandmother, she worked in the fields. You know, she was a widower all of her life. She raised 9 kids. You know what I mean? My grandmother walked from Tiptonville to St. Louis just to get a job back in 1935. You know what I mean? I understand. This is not this. This is not this. This is mathematics.
I know, but we're a close-knit
Family,
family and we know everybody and,
it
you
is
know.
tough.
You will be better off. You
Well-
will be better off.
But
Yeah.
piggybacking on what she stated
Yes.
as far as the low income,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, it is to my understanding that the water board does not make, payment agreements, paid so much now and pay later. Well, is that
We're
a
not allowed
option?
No,
You're
we're
not
not,
allowed
the state,
to,
we
you're
have a
allowed
water,
to do something like this, but not allowed
we are not
to
allowed,
help
we are not
residents
allowed
of
to
the
hold
town
water,
to
I
keep
mean,
Wait a minute, let her finish.
on.
Let her finish the question.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
there's gonna be a lot of people, and you know, and somewhere down the line, it could be me,
right,
Yes.
okay, that's not able to make that payment. And so even though you're coming out of our pockets and we're willing to pay, you cannot set up a program to where you can assist the residents in doing so.
does do
I mean, come on, I mean, the,
Mr. Robert, can you answer the question?
I think Tiptonville holds the
Ms.
penalty. I think if there's a penalty on the water bill, they'll
Scrivener,
hold
would
it.
you like me to answer that?
No, they wouldn't charge them,
Question, sure. I'll answer it honestly.
they wouldn't
Yeah.
charge them like, for late fee or something, they still have to pay.
They
Okay.
will, but
All
I
right,
think what
we're gonna get an explanation, y'all, hold on just a second.
Used to, years ago, you could do a lot of things. You could help your neighbor out. You could call up here, you had people you say, yeah, we come pay me Friday. But the rules that they're under right now, you've got a good board from what I know of. Other towns are going through the same thing. I had one town that was one of my clients that had to raise their 60%
Yes,
because they set back. And your board can sit back and vote no on all of this.
they can.
But here's what's gonna happen. The station will step in, every one of these people up here, there's gonna be a warrant swap for them, and they're gonna go to Nashville.
They will be subpoenaed. They will be subpoenaed.
And they're gonna say, you know the rules. They're in writing, they've been passed by the Tennessee legislature, you know what the rules are. Why are you not abiding by them?
Yes.
And then that's when the state's gonna step in, and the state may have your same model here on what you're gonna do, but the state's not gonna have egg on their face. They're gonna double it. They're gonna make sure that the numbers are gonna work out.
The
Yeah,
state
they're
doesn't
much
care
They
about,
don't care.
if you don't make this rate increase, the state's going to come in and make it for him, for them. And they're gonna do it with what they wanna do, not with what my math says.
And what I always tell people, I live in rural country, I'm on the county water system, I'm on Gibson County water system. Just my water bills, I live alone, I got 2 one dog now. My water bill runs me about $50 a month just for my water. Thank God I've been blessed, I'm able to pay it. But I know that our church that we go to, and I go to a small country church, we've got a fund set up for that. We've got good people that donate, that have more than the rest, and they donate on that. And if somebody, especially a veteran or the elder that comes and asks us, hey, we need some help, we got money in that account, we help them out. I don't care who it is. We don't care whether they live in our little community or not. And maybe that'd be something, your church, get your church involved on it. A lot of people, a lot of the churches have got good donors that they've got CDs sitting at the bank. And maybe it's time, you know, if the church always says, the church has always been doing what they've been doing out in society nowadays, we would be in the shape we're in. That's true. Because there is people out there that's less fortunate than I am, that's drawing $500-600 a month. I've got better opportunities at my age, but it was on the piggyback of people's in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. And now inflation's just run off and left it.
Jesus.
I sympathize with you having to make things. I wish I could do what I do for a living for nothing. I enjoy it. But I'm like everybody else, I've got to make money, I've got to have a living. I sympathize. I sympathize with the old folks. I do. It makes me cry, because especially in the winter, you know, I buy my medicine, I pay my gas bill, I pay my water bill, and stuff.
Hey, hold on.
Yeah, let me say this, Mayor, before I get out of y'all's way. Everybody in this room, especially y'all, and everybody sitting here knows what it costs to live in Lake County. We're gonna have higher property taxes, we're gonna have higher utilities, and it's gonna continue to go that way. It's not gonna change, it's not gonna get cheaper. The only thing that we can possibly do in this county is to push our elected officials to join another county.
That's right.
That's the only way that we're gonna get any tax relief. Are we gonna, and you know, they won't raise county taxes this year, but they will next year.
Right.
And in the 2 years after that, we'll keep that. The citizens of this county cannot support a county government. We have there's nothing here, there's no factories here, there's no tax revenue coming in here. We've got Reelfoot Lake and we've got prison. Outside of that, we've got 3 or 4 stores scattered around, quick packs. But Mayor, I'm gonna get out of y'all's way and let y'all have this headache.
Thank you, sir.
But, I know where you're coming from on the water. If you're up against the law, can't do anything else.
I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is.
I know that. But all the rest of you need to realize, are we gonna stand up and keep paying, trying to live here, or are the people you just gonna let people move out? I'm gonna sell out and move, you know. We're selling not moving. We're selling not moving. We're gonna live here because of the high property taxes and high utilities.
I agree with you, and I agree with everything said.
I agree too. I want to show you something. I want to show you something. Hey, I'm a civil servant. These people aren't paying me nothing. I did this for nothing, right? Don't let this jacket and these nice clothes fool you. I'm broke. I live in Greenfield, Tennessee. This is my water bill. $146.81.
For how many gallons?
Well, it doesn't show, but that
That's
is
just
my
water, or is that sewer water, garbage?
That's sewer and water. $146.81. And the reason why is because Greenfield was in this situation.
Absolutely.
Greenfield was in this situation. Now you have an opportunity to save yourself $4, $6. You know what I mean? You're playing with this. How much does this cost you? You know what I'm saying? This is water. This is $8 for 1,000 gallons of water. Do you want to be paying $146 a month?
I'm already paying that.
It's as simple as that.
Know where you come from, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for your honesty. Appreciate that, and just laying it out there.
Revisit this justification for city and rural. We have to pass
Yes,
that.
we have to pass it.
It is. You ready?
The whole thing.
No. Bypass the reading.
That's what we just discussed. We just read that. We just read that.
Waive it.
Yeah, we're just gonna waive the reading on that.
I just need a vote.
All right, we have a motion. Make a motion to waive reading.
Second.
Motion by Michael, second by Ms. Denise. Please.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Roll call.
Bruce,
Yes.
Michael Pierce, I'm sorry.
Yes.
They,
I second.
oh,
Yeah,
my
just say
board,
I'm first.
you made it, Renee?
Yes.
I got Chatter, I can't, Renee?
Yes.
Trey?
Yes.
All right.
Is that all on you? You got more?
I've got more. I'm sorry, but I got more.
He said I'm not.
Now we're going to discuss the resolution to revise the water and sewer rate fees, charges, related services in municipal. This is what we've been talking about. The town of Ridgely must maintain a state's minimum operating ratio. Here are your current rates and your new rates. Volumetric rates. So, for instance, we're going from $3.66 per thousand to $4.53 per thousand for 90% of the customers in Richmond. That is
Less than
less than $1 is what we're talking about. That's what we're debating. Less than $1 per 1,000 gallons, right? This costs $1.50. Your second biggest customers is your 2-inch city. They're going from $3.66 to $4.47. That, of course, is, again, less than $1. Your wastewater rates are going from $13.50, this is the big increase, to $22.41 for the base rate. Rural, which there are only a very few customers on Ridgely's rural wastewater system, is going from $16.05 to $26.64. Where we stand right now,
We don't have any rural
customers.
on wastewater.
Yes, you do. Sir. There are about 5 where there is some consumption. There is some consumption for them.
I have a billing register and go through it.
Yes,
I'm telling you, there's none.
there
There's
is.
none rural, no, there's not.
In the
I'll
income,
argue with that now. No, there's no rural wastewater.
in the revenue sheets, there are a few that are classified as rural. Yes, sir, there is. There is money there, so there are customers there. There is revenue. It's coming from somewhere,
I would,
you know.
I'm gonna say maybe what might have happened, because we have several areas that have been annexed, and maybe some of those annexed properties were never switched from rural
Out there
to
where
city.
there could be one or two out there where I live, but the rest of them I know is on
So
city.
what I'll
Mr.
have to
Mayor,
get a
there may
report.
be less than 5.
So
We're talking about a total revenue of $1,500 a month. Yes, very, very few, very, very few. But where you sit right now, your operating ratio on your wastewater side is very low. And so just to get above water, it's going to take a bigger increase. Now, the wastewater lagoon, you know, you're violating your discharge parameters on your wastewater lagoon and have to. And so you're going to continue to do that. This board, unfortunately, has to make a decision to stop that. It's going to cost you over $1 million to do it, right? There's no other way. There's no other for your lagoon
To do what?
repair. Well, you're going to have to, probably the problem with your lagoon, Mr. Cooper, if you would like to help me here, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to do sludge removal, because you're violating your parameters on nitrogen and ammonia and just about everything else. So, you know, you're returning wastewater into the natural environment that still has hazardous components in it. And so you're violating your NPDES. Well, it's going to cost you about that.
We're not, I gotta go and show you, we're not going with land.
Okay, fine.
We're not spending that.
Okay,
But Mr. Jim can explain, we don't have to.
This goes back, this
You're
this
gonna
is
have
not-
to
this
sludge
is not your problem over your lagoon. Y'all have got one of the nicest lagoons around.
you do. You got a great lagoon.
But the state put the shaft to you on this. The state should have never approved that lagoon when it was built. It's a shallow lagoon.
Yes.
They know better. They definitely know better now. But when that was built, they should have said, no, it's gotta be deeper.
Yeah.
And that's what's causing you the problem on the sludge. Now, I do know the sludge, I just got done doing one probably about half that size at Decatur, getting the sludge out of it. But I done it the old fashioned way, with dry boxes and stuff. And it cost them
$500,000.
right at $400,000.
That's what you're looking at if you do it that way.
But there are other ways. You know, it's depending on what is hurting so bad on all these construction projects is nobody's hungry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Money's in the ditches, you can go by and scoop it up. You can go by, you shoot the moon on these jobs and you figure, well, if I gotta pull off this job, maybe take a few days liquidated damages, I'll go ahead and take this one because I'm gonna make a killing off of it. And everybody's doing it. We just don't have enough people doing it. And it's not only that, it's building houses, it's everything. And everybody is shooting the moon on it.
Your lagoon has never had its sludge removed. Never. And
So
so,
agree to me on that.
so what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to remove all of the sludge the way that he said. You're going to have to land apply it, right? That takes permits, that takes time, that takes,
Yeah, but what about
Human
the buffer
resources?
system, the air buffer system?
okay, so you have aerators out there,
I'm
right?
not talking about that, I'm talking about putting the under, whatever you call
The
it.
diffusers.
Had to remove
It's
sludge,
called
put the rubber mats in there.
Siphon aeration.
They removed sludge, put that rubber mat.
I mean, that was before my time.
That's been a good one.
To put the valves in. Yes, okay, so,
They've got a thing out now called triple point. Siphon aeration is what it is. And Town of Huntington just got it. Now, I was a little scared when they put it in because there were some things that shot up and you're thinking,
why is that in there?
why is it going higher? They're already out of compliance. But what it done is over time, you have got, and it's totally legal, you have got like on your TSS, I think it's
Total suspended solids.
883 pounds a day. We've also got milligrams per liter limit on it. But what this does, it pops it up there, and you got to get the feel of the aeration, how much to aerate, how much not. What it does is suspends it up, and you're discharging. Not hurting the receiving stream, you're not violating the permit, but it's naturally, you're putting out what the state says you can put out in your receiving stream on it. And, but stay away from that.
Yeah, that, we're getting a grant on that, to do that.
Good system. If any of you want to look at it, go to Huntington. It's called Triple Point. You look it up. But it'll make you pucker up a little bit when it first goes in.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
When was the last time you toured your water treatment plant?
Today.
All of them?
Oh,
No.
When was the last
Last
time you
week.
saw your assets? When was
I
the
was
last
out
time?
that day.
Yeah. When was the last time you really looked at your high service pumps? When was the last time you saw their condition? You'll know that it was put in 1971. You know what I mean? That's older than me. I'm 50 years old. You know what I mean? And it's not been replaced. That wastewater lagoon out there has been neglected for a very long time. And unfortunately, when was the last time you walked out there? When was the last time you saw your assets out there? Right? Go look for yourself. I invite you to go out there and look and see. You're facing a big fraud. And unfortunately, it's falling on you to make this decision. And it's up to you. Other boards didn't do it. It's fell on you. You have no choice.
Come to a head.
You've come to a head. With both maintenance, you've got to do a lot of maintenance. If you do this sludge removal and it costs you that much money and he's not doing it, The way your operating ratio is now for wastewater, you might as well just walk away from wastewater. You know what I mean? Because if you think you're in a bad spot now, just wait. Just wait. I'm just being honest.
I appreciate
Thank
your
you.
honesty.
Thank you.
You know,
That's what I want to do. We pay 35 out there at the lake. And then what yours is 34 and some change, it's right at $35 a month,
For the sewer,
just for the sewer.
okay. So we got this resolution.
Like,
yes.
Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Michael
Which
Pierce.
resolution are you?
This is the rates. This is the rate
adopt the
rate.
rate.
You want the light off?
Yeah, so we can,
There's no
I think they're fixing to vote.
no way
Find
around.
that.
I do have one question.
yes.
The 3/4 inch in town, it's look at it, you said $1, it's gonna be 87 cents. If you go to a 2 inch, it comes out to be 81 cents.
Yes, sir.
And 3 inches is 760. Why is it going down the bigger pipe you get?
Okay, so it's all based on equality. It's based on fairness and it's based on equality. It's based on usage. It's all based on usage, right? 90% of your customers have the smaller pipe, right? Less percentage of your customers have the bigger pipe, but they're using less water. They're using less water. That's why it's going down. It's all based on fairness. Believe me, if it wasn't, I wouldn't do it.
I was just asking, I'm curious.
All right, so we got a motion on the floor.
Who was the motion?
Michael Pierce.
Michael Pierce.
Who's second?
Me.
Second, Ms. Denise. Roll call.
Bruce,
Yes.
Michael Ford,
Yes.
Renee,
yes.
Trey.
I know this is a tough
What'd you
decision.
say forward?
Nobody likes to make these decisions. But you are doing something right now. This decision that you're making right now is going to get you out of trouble. It will.
You got the-
It absolutely will.
But we have your partnership every year that
I
you're
promise you. I
So
promise you.
that,
We will review this every single year.
that'd be awesome.
If you want to review this every single year, we will review this every single year. I have no problem with doing that.
Okay.
Good deal.
See anything else, Mr. Robert?
Yes, sir. We had a lot of problems we had to work through. This is the threshold for capitalization. Okay.
Yeah, you did all that.
Yeah.
Did we do that?
We passed that.
Yeah,
We passed that already. Okay, so then,
I did that.
That's it, should be it.
Yeah,
I've got everything.
that's not it, that's not it.
Okay, that's all you
All
told
right.
me.
Let's do this. Okay, so this satisfies everything we need. We are almost officially on a TBOUR's radar. It was my pleasure to help you do it, except for one thing: the asset management plan. That's one of the orders that the staff recommended, that we do an asset management plan. You do not have an asset management plan.
That's being done by TLM right now.
The asset management plan for the wastewater, or what did you say? Was it for the wastewater or for the water?
She just told me they were doing our asset management plan, that it was being taken care of. I'm
Okay.
not sure what all is included.
When will it be done?
She said the state told them they had till September 30th.
Okay, so I have done all I can do. Okay? I will write my final report to the comptroller and send it into the comptroller. We are well in advance of their deadline, but it is so important that we do the asset management plan because the actual order states that we must review the policies of the asset management plan. And what that criteria states is that you must list all of your assets. You must do the asset management plan workbook that the state provided for each water and wastewater system. You must list all of your assets. You must
We'll get that done.
prioritize and ask. You must prioritize something, okay? And so what you can do is you can prioritize that lagoon, right? And so that's what I recommend you do, is you prioritize the lagoon because you're already doing it, or your priority should be those electronic radio read meters.
Well, we're in between right now, a operator, so we're gonna have, that'll all be addressed
Okay.
ASAP.
Right.
We have a grant application right now with CDBG for the meters.
Yes.
We're gonna start with the rural. Once we get that, if it's approved, we'll do all of the rural meters, we swap to electronic read. Then we will go back and reapply for in-town.
No, we're gonna do all rural, and what's left, we're gonna come in town and start.
Okay.
With the
Is that
six
what I
hundred fifty thousand.
Well, it was like we were just gonna do rural.
Oh, yeah, sorry. And then there's another ordinance that we're passing tonight, resolution that we're passing tonight for the DRA grant, which will, that will help us get the lagoon where we're still under the director's order, but the penalties and fines stop. And then they'll wait for that grant to be approved or denied to see, and then that will take care of the problem out there.
Okay,
So
good.
both are being addressed, we just haven't been awarded grants.
Okay, good. That basically sums up our work. Beth, thank you so much for helping me get this done. It was my pleasure to do it for you. I'm sorry that I've been the bearer of bad news, but the decisions that you've made today are going to get you completely off the radar of the Tennessee Bureau of Utility Regulations, and you don't want that. So what you did tonight is going to put you in the positive. You're going to start making money. You're going to start seeing positive revenue. You're going to start being able to hire more people like Mr. Cooper. You're going to start being able to make it work, you know? So thank you very much. Hey, it was my pleasure to help
Thank
you
you,
guys
sir.
through this
Thank you,
work.
sir.
Thank you for
know?
everything.
And like I said, you can call me, you can contact me at any time with any questions, at any time about anything. Just because we're done with this doesn't mean we have to be done. And I hope that's not the case.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Mr. Robert, it was nice working with you. I
Yes,
appreciate
ma'am.
all your
Thank you
help.
so much.
All right, number 2, discuss resignation of Donnie Simmons. Do I have any questions?
Discuss that. Or you just gonna-
We just have to take a vote to accept.
Please, can I have a motion to accept his resignation?
Well,
Make a motion to accept the resignation.
Motion by Trey,
and I'll second it.
second by Bruce. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Next up, I'd like to introduce Mr. Jim Cooper with Cooper Environmental Services, not Raybos. That was his old,
Ray Bowles is the sole proprietor.
now he's
And
incorporated
it's,
with
and
his.
that's not Muslim, that stands for Rachel, Bobby, and Will, my kids. Named after all that.
So
I've been in,
so he is interim right now for Donnie. Until we get his proposal and decide that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you for filling in.
I've been talking with Mayor Bruce and Trey, met with them. Let me give you a little background. I've been doing this for 40 years. I started out making $4 an hour. And the only reason why I done that, I was working for a company in Alabama, hanging steel, and my dad said, "You need to be at home." He said, "I'm tired of you being gone all the time." He said, "Your mama's uncle went to California, got into this water and wastewater." He said, "There's a job in Dyer for Kelley Environmental out of Murfreesboro." I went down there and I applied for it. And I was a smarty pants. I didn't want the job. But I knew that I had to treat this right or I was going to catch it. So anyway, long and short, I got up, walked out of the interview, and he said, "When can you start?" I said, "What? In the way I talk to you?" So anyway, I got in there, long and short, wife got pregnant, 2.5 miles to feed, was scared to do anything else. And state man came up and he said, "Jim," he said, "if you get these licenses," he said, "make a good living for yourself and your family." And I did. I applied myself. I got into the maintenance aspect of it, which I've worked very little for cities. I always worked for a private contractor. I've been over maintenance, the full thing of all of it, and made my way up with a company called Zebra Trent to an area manager. And started out at $4 an hour. Well, anyway, went to work for a different company. They sold out here about 3 years ago, and I told my son, both of my sons are in this. They're raised up in it. I said, "You know what? I'm tired of making everybody else money and having to put up with, having a boss. And little did I know what was to run a company from the start.
There you go.
Insurance, just on and on and on. But enough about me. I know the situation you're in with your operator, and I do have a price for the mayor. Would you like me to give it here?
Yeah.
And what it's going to be, it's $10,108 a month. And I did tell her I would throw in my thing. We'll make it even 10,000. I'll take the $108 off a month. We'll take that out of there. But what that covers, if you will go through and pick out, I'm going to cover all of the expendables in your lab at the water plant. That comes out of my pocket. I'm going to provide the personnel, the vehicle. I'm going to take care of the lab testing that you're doing, the weekly lab testing that we have to do with the wastewater. That's on me. It's not going to be going to Tiptonville. I got a truck that goes to Jackson just about every day of the week, and we're going to take the samples to Waypoint. And with doing that, then you're not going to have to run a DMR QA once every 5 years. It's $2,000 or $3,000. But there's things that I'm doing. If you will go back and pick out of your budget what you're paying right now for personnel, the health insurance, the workman's comp, the gas money to get him around, and all of this good stuff. I'm in the ballpark of what you're paying now. I think we're off by how much?
We're at
It's
$93,400.
$93,400.
Yeah, and that's including, we wouldn't need Kent anymore. And then the Tiptonville fees, insurance, I pulled everything I could.
It's $83,000 is change on Donnie, the rest of it was renting Kent's license.
And so I think with that and other changes we've got, I've done talked to a different chemical company, see if we can save money there. But there's numerous things that we can save money. I'm just now getting into your water plant, and I told you today, as we was doing a lot of backwashing, which you're going through an upgrade at your water plant. As far as controls and the media that's in the filters and stuff, that's going to go down. That's going to be less water that we're wasting on your water loss and stuff. But I think we can get it in the neighborhood, and I sympathize for all of you that make a decision to raise rates on your citizens. Because I have said here the past 2 years, meeting after meeting after meeting over this, and everybody's having the same problem. And it's just the nature of the beast. And you should, if you're bolder than I am, I won't give nobody a promise on nothing about rates going up, because the way things are done with brass with this COVID. But as long as inflation stays low, things will be great. But you have no choice to do that. The state's serious about all this. I remember 40 years ago we used to get away with so many things. Do this. Now the regulations are just one right after the other. And you got to do it. Not only you, I do. I've got so many things. I've got to go to a class every year for updates. Back when I started, I used to go once every 5 or 6 years. But everything's changing so fast. And you just have to do it. But your water operator, you're without one right now, and the mayor called, and we come up here, we run the test. I have met with the state lady today over things. She's done give me the skinny on your lagoon, your water plant, and all of that. I've got my 2 sons that work with me, and then I've got 2 employees. And we go, and how we keep things down low. I think you had BMS down here that give you a price, which I guarantee you was probably right about twice what mine was, or close to it. But how we do it, I don't have one man in any particular area 8 hours. Now there may be days where I may have 2 guys here all day long. We may have a problem. But we go in, we do what we're required by the state, whether it be grab samples and take them to Jackson. But there's stuff we got to do 7 days a week. We even have to do it on Christmas, holidays. That's the way the state's got it now. But that's how I'm able to do it cheaper. If we got a problem, more guys are here. We're here all day long. But we come in here, we get our stuff done, and we will get it fine-tuned after we get through everything, and hopefully we'll be here 2 to 4 hours. And then they're on to the next one. I'm getting to the point where I roam around all and pop in here. Hey, you want to go to lunch? It's okay with the CPA, but that is where my proposal is at, and you can feel free if anybody's got any ideas. there's no operators out there. Everybody's leaving. They're after that big dollar, and sometimes they're paying big dollars. That's got the money. But you got big towns like Jackson. They'll go around and they'll snatch operators up. You pay to train them, they'll snatch them up and give them that big dollar. They can afford it. You can't. You can't afford to start an operator out with all his license and pay him $120,000 a year plus benefits for him and his family. You don't have the resources. They do. And that's where people's gonna go. There's no loyalty anymore. When I first started working, I'm assuming y'all do. I was taught you get a job, you stick with it, and you retire. But people don't do that anymore. They'd rather drive off, and I've seen people so, I don't want to say ignorant to the fact, let's put it that way. They will quit a job and drive 30 miles down the road to make 50 cents more an hour. I just don't see that. You waste that in gas and wear and tear on your car, but people do it. They do it all the time. I'm sure y'all work with some. But if you've got any questions, he has got my number. Feel free to ask.
Christian, when you touch on like other places you take care of, kind of give them an idea.
Sure. I've got Henny. Gates buys their water from Halls. As a matter of fact, they are in the process now. They're looking at a grant to get their water plant back in service because Halls just went up extremely high on their water.
I did that rate study, I'm sorry.
You got a reputation.
They're a lot better off than me. They're a lot better off than me.
And you would rather pay a little bit more, and I wish most of them are still here. Don't ever sell your water system. Because when you do, you're going to have in this town, whoever owns that water system, you're going to have here in your town what they want you to have.
Yeah.
They're going to raise their rates where they're going to make a profit. They don't care about you. They're going to make that profit no matter what. If it takes raising it up $20 for each bill, they don't care. Don't ever sell your water system. But I've got Gates. All we do is the collection and distribution, which is lift stations and water. We got to run, I think, pH, chlorine, and alkalinity that we got to run 7 days a week. We check the lift station 7 days a week. And then we go to Henning. We've got Henning. Henning's got a water plant just like you, pressure filters, but they're a little bit smaller. Very, very good client. Most of their stuff is new, lift stations and all. They got a spray field for their lagoon. They've got a lagoon and then they got a spray field. The only time they've got to meet a NPDS permit for discharge is when they discharge into the Hatchie River. So we try to keep it on the spray field. We had to discharge once since we've been down there. I think we've been down there 3 years, and that was on account of the flow we had. Couldn't do anything with it because they can't meet their limits on their lagoon. So we keep it at the spray field, and everything's been good. We've got 2 truck stops on I-40 that's got package plants, and we also haul rainwater. I've got back trucks. We haul rainwater and do sewer lift stations clean up, one with a snorkel on it. I've got small places. I've got a couple of trailer parks, Whispering Pines, big trailer parks and stuff like that. I've got Rutherford, Sharon, Atwood. Atwood's a fun one, y'all like that.
A trailer park has their own water system?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And
There's one right on the county line between Gibson County and Carroll County, and Atwood will not incorporate them into their city. They've got good people now that bought it, and they kicked out all the drug dealers and everything else and cleaned it up. And they've got an evaporation lagoon. We got that. They got 2 wells, so they've got to have a certified operator. The other one I got is Whispering Pines over by T-Deck in Jackson. That's got, oh my lord, I don't know how many trailers are in there. Got to have a certified operator for it. And, so that's what we do. And I've got numerous places where we do pre-treatment. We do pre-treatment still for New Bern, Adamsville. We've got a couple of places up towards Tennessee River, Decatur, Lakeshore, United Methodist Church Camp. They've got to have an operator. And all they've got is 2 huge underground septic tanks with rock on top of them, but the state requires them to have discharge permit, which I think is ridiculous. But I don't make the rules, I just try to play by them. But we started out with one when me and my son left VMS. Well, they sold out in Bargary, and we started out with one, and it's just been. I don't go around looking for work. People call me. I don't go behind an operator's back because I have, and I've had some clients, I tell them, you know, well, our operator, you need to keep your operator if you can afford it. Please keep your operator. If you can afford it, you need to keep it. Because I'm a little bit more expensive. But here I am working in the private sector. I don't get the tax breaks on all the stuff the municipality does. I've got to have that big dollar insurance and all that good stuff. So, but that's where we stand on it. You are more than welcome. I can get you some numbers, anything. If you want to call and check up on me with any one of my clients, you are more than welcome to. I will get you numbers and you can talk to any of them. As long as you talk to the mayor. There's a couple aldermen that don't like me. Talk to them. But you know, you can talk to any one of them, the city recorder, the mayor, just whoever you want to. I feel comfortable with all of that.
I want to add that I did check because the question came up to me about whether or not we needed to bid this out to put it in the paper, whatever. This is considered a professional service. Attorney General put forth a judgment, well, I don't know when, but I did read it. It is a professional service. Professional services do not have to be bid out. We can vote tonight. We can regroup at our call meeting, like whenever y'all want to do it. But it does not have to be put in the paper and bid out for other companies.
Well, it's probably not anyone in your line of work that's fairly close, is it, Jim?
There's some, you know, you got BMS, I think they're EnviroLink. Drive by numerous wastewater plant, you make your decision whether you want to have them come and give you a price. They're in trouble right now.
So they're under director's order as well.
Yep, and more is coming. I've been gone out, pat myself on the back. Me and my son's been gone from that plant for 3 years, and it is, nobody's working. You got 2 managers that go play golf, and you got 2 workers. And they're not experienced. They've been in it less than a year. And things. You got to take care of things. I don't care where it is. I preach to my sons, my employees. When you go in these towns, you act like your grandmother is paying a water bill here. Don't go to the board and ask for something that you want. You go to the board and you get your needs, not your wants. There's all kind of stuff out here to make my job easier. But I don't need it. I'm getting paid to operate. I'm not getting paid to get this easy stuff to do it off a computer or a phone. Do your job. If you need something, by all means, ask for it. Let's do it. Can we wait? Can we put it in next year's budget? You know, do all things. Let's get by. Let's stay in compliance and let's get the job done. I'm coming to you. Now, I will say when I come and I see a problem on the horizon, I'm going to tell you about it. I'll tell you about it 2 or 3 times. But if you sit back and ignore me, y'all handle the money. I don't. I'm going to tell you what's going to keep you out of trouble. And if you choose not to do it, that's on you. I've done my job. But we've got to take care. You've got to take care of your water. That's the most expensive thing you've got in town is your water and sewer system. It's got to be taken care of. It's been neglected. You're not the only ones. These towns have been neglected. When years and years ago, this pipe was put in the ground and nobody thought nothing else about it. Well, now it's time to pay the piper.
We're definitely paying it.
If you get a chance to get you some free money, and I know now grants have got to be depreciated out now. Everybody thinks because you get a grant that, oh, that's free money. No, it's not. She's got to depreciate it out now. And I know of a couple of times you got to be careful on how many grants you get, or you're going to put yourself in a financial strain there. Yeah. Because you got to depreciate so much out. So it's a balancing act for her. She's got a hard job.
Yes.
Very hard job. And I'm sure she's like me and like y'all. I hate to see anybody pay more, especially our elderly and our veterans.
I agree.
Soft spot in my heart. But
Yeah.
like I said, get with your churches. If churches be doing what they should, everybody's taking care of them. A lot of them ain't doing what they need to be doing. Don't sit back and have CDs in the bank. That's not what people pay money for. But spend that money. Spend it on our elderly or whatever old church. Somebody comes to church and needs spend it. You ain't got much faith if you don't. God's going to give you some more.
That's right.
If you use it wisely.
I have a question. Does the service involve any kind of water line repair or anything like that? It's just he will guide if we have to, major something, he will guide, but our water guys will. They don't have tap. That's why they're not here. They don't have sewer tap this afternoon.
I've got 2 towns right now that we do water repairs on. One of them, the city crew does all, most of the digging. Sometimes I gotta take equipment over there. And then Atwood. And I promise you, as soon as the contracts go out, I'm not doing any water line repairs. Because if I went and charged what it actually would cost me, sometimes I go up and fix water leak, we lose money. If I charge you what everybody else charges, you'd be mad. So I just as soon stay out of that realm on things. I'll help them out. I'll call and, hey, you can do this. But I think you've got a pretty good crew from talking with Johnny and talking to any of the rest of them on that bus, but I think he seems like he's a go-getter.
He tries. They all do a good job. They all pull together. They got that tapped up.
And that's all you can ask is try. But if any way I can help out anybody out there, you don't have to work for me. I don't have to be doing business with you. Knowledge is a phone call that costs anything. I answer questions for anybody. I know most of the operators in West Tennessee, and if they call and need some advice on something, I'll tell them. It ain't no skin off me. Maybe they'll learn something to help out someplace else. So I'm not greedy with knowledge by any means. I don't have a lot of it, but I'm not greedy with it.
Thank you, Jim.
Anybody else got any questions for Mr. Jim? So how do y'all want to proceed?
Do you already have a contract written up?
He'll get it for this one.
But right now, he's just serving as
Yeah,
interim.
he's just basically interim right now till we get
So
something.
do we need to make a motion to keep him as interim until the contract's submitted?
That would be
Well, I'll be the first one to make a motion. We keep Mr. Jim Cooper as interim water boy.
Second.
second by Trey. Roll call.
Michael Pierce,
Yes.
Yes.
Michael Ford, Denise. Yeah. Renee.
Yes.
Mayor Harris, I will do this. I'm just a simple old country boy. I don't have my lawyers draw up my contracts. Most of my contracts is 1, maybe page and a half, 2, lucky. But it goes down through there and it basically says what I'm gonna do. Me and my 2 sons were workman's comp exempt. My other employees, I gotta pay workman's comp insurance. I will get you all the documents for that when we sign the contract. My general liability insurance, I got insurance off wazoo on vehicles and equipment and everything else. But I will put forth to you anything you want that you think that you need to add to it. I will make sure, I think we've got a pretty good idea of what I'm gonna do to help your guys and everything else. And we will line all of this up right here and read it and make sure it's on there if that's how you'd like to do it. Unless you want an attorney to draw one up. I don't. I just
I mean,
don't.
these ladies and gentlemen are good with it. I mean,
I'm good with it. If your contract is straightforward and
Mine's straightforward to the point. When I sign my name on it, you sign your name.
I'm okay with it. Just make sure Christine is okay with it.
yeah, we can double check
I
that.
can email a copy of it to them and get them to look it over if need be.
They're just very basic. I hadn't had any problems with any other one of my clients on it. And it's just very basic. And I do keep a 30-day out clause in my contract because I don't want to work for anybody that don't want me. Don't want to be married to anybody that don't want me. Done it 3 times. Ain't gonna be a 4th.
Wait a minute. Wait a
Well,
minute.
they there tonight, aren't we? But I do ask on you. I don't go in a place, and I've had a couple do me, that you go in and you work and you get things back up and running, and then they want to show you the door. Yeah. I hope that, and I think you do, just for no longer than I mentioned, pretty good judge character. I know him really well.
Bless you.
But I don't want to get.
I don't think we have that
we're
luxury.
we went to separate schools
Get
together.
everything straightened out. I don't want to say, oh well, hell, John Blow down the road's going to do it for whatever, $10 an hour on it. But they're straightforward. I got a 30-day clause in it. You know, you may be mad at me. You may say, hey, I
Well, I
want
ain't
to.
gonna say we won't get into it a time or two, but I
Oh,
we'll
we
just,
will
we'll
get
work
into
through it, go on.
But we're gonna be adults about it, we won't be able to talk it out.
That's right.
And if you get too mad, I just turn around and walk off. It ain't that I'm ignoring you, I'm giving you time to calm down.
Oh,
So it
that's
is yearly
sometimes.
That'll be
contract
daily.
that renews, or
No,
how that?
no, here's another thing that I do. I will not sign anything unless it's a 5-year contract.
5 year, okay.
And I hope no one has a problem with that.
Oh,
My contracts are 5 years.
What time frame are you looking at having a contract where we can get it reviewed and?
I will have you something, trying to think who.
We'll have a call meeting on the 29th of this month.
How about I have you something Monday morning, let me quick enough. We'll do that.
Yeah, I think we might
So
get
we'll close tomorrow. I think that'll be fine.
You got me for free right now. But
I greatly appreciate it.
I do too.
So right, Jim. Yes, sir.
there are 5 years on it. That's how I do it. I don't go in and slip any. And listen, I worked for overseas companies before. They're always slipping in there that, well, if you don't give a 90-day notice, it's got an automatic renewal on it. I don't do that. I think I've got 2 contracts that's got CPI increases on it. I've only had to invoke one, and I think it was 3%, and they're getting another one 3% this year. But if it ever comes down to it, if we're in it, I'm not putting CPI increase in your contract. If it comes up and something jumps up, fuel jumps up $10 an hour, I'm gonna come to you and say, hey guys, can you help me out a little bit? I don't wanna make profit off of something that goes up. Right. But I'll come to you if we get to that. I don't think I'm gonna get to that point on it, but, that's as fair as I can be with you, as open as I can be with you. Like I said, feel free to call any one of my clients. If you need a list, and you can't remember, you're taking notes.
Always.
You probably know a bunch of the city recorders, but call them and check me out. Don't ask about my youngest son, because that's what we call him, the water boy. There's something wrong with him. I let him hang out with my dad too much. But, and again, he's got my number. If y'all think a question that will leave here, feel free to ask. If I've got the answer, I'll tell you.
Thank you so much.
Both of y'all, we think
Yeah,
Yes.
both of you too, Mr. Roberts, well,
y'all
man.
have,
I finally found somebody that talks more than I do. Good Lord, son. You know, you talk a
We
lot.
got a lot of ground.
got a lot to
We
do.
got a lot of ground to cover, didn't you?
Yeah, sure did.
But
We've been working on this for weeks.
but it's.
But if y'all don't have anything, I do desperately need to scoot out of here.
We appreciate you very much.
Good, Jim.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, man.
Thank you, each and every one of you. I
Yes, sir.
appreciate you. And we look forward to working with you. Thanks, sir.
Please, Bob.
Robert,
Dear.
thank you so much for your time, my friend.
Dear.
You ever know Wilson Beals? You said you live in Greenville?
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Jim.
Thank you.
Jim.
What I do.
You didn't do that. So, I'm gonna get you now, that way we can get. I'll be in the office tomorrow before close, so when you get to town or whatever, just call me.
Yeah, I think it's allowed.
Let me give you my cell phone because I'll be in my office, but I won't
My thing is,
be. I'm gonna write it right there, is that okay? I'll be here tomorrow, but the door will be locked.
not just that, well, no, it's done correctly.
Thank you.
I mean, that's.
Every day, you know, that's gonna be one of my questions to y'all. So, see you, Jim. Thank you, Jim.
Be careful,
Every day. One of them, every day.
and we need that with the water.
Absolutely.
All right, so we've got Mr. Jim Dunn, first reading ordinance concerning water and sewer rates. We took care of that. Next on the agenda is reading of resolution authorization to apply for the DRA grant. I'm gonna waive the reading on that unless, well, everybody should have read it. But it basically boils down to we're requesting $535,000 in the state economic development assistance program to replace the failing flotation aeration system at the lagoon, like we were talking about earlier, which will not will not have to have it dredged or any of that. Jim sort of explained what would go on with that, so if we could,
And there's no match.
yeah, it's no match grant, so if we could have any questions or have a motion,
Make a motion that we,
Will that cover it?
it will be absolutely very, very close.
Okay.
I think there's gonna be a little money that possibly could be left over the water plant, but we'll finish it up with no cost to us.
Okay.
And that will get us off the direction.
Yeah.
I had a second.
Okay, roll call.
Michael Pierce,
Yes.
Denise,
Yes.
Renee,
Yes.
Yes.
All right. First reading of budget ordinance 06152026.
Okay, now,
I think you
skipped
skipped
one,
number
but before,
6.
before we get to that, I have two things I
Oh,
want to
sorry.
ask about, if you don't mind, before
Sure.
we get to that, okay. I gave y'all a list of our employee time. The way that they've always done it, and I know I've told y'all I hate that phrase, and I do, I'm trying to get away from it, but our vacation time, when you're here for a year, you get your vacation time. And then you're supposed to use it by June the 30th. So if you get your vacation time in May, how hard, especially in our office, because we don't usually take time off in June, but it's very hard if you get your vacation time later in the fiscal year to use it by June the 30th. So what happened when I started here, and this is what I was told to do by Pam and other ones, was on your anniversary date, you get your week's vacation. So I got my vacation June 15th. I had to go in front of the board and ask them to approve us to allow those vacation hours to roll over. But then on July the 1st, I got my next week's vacation that I should have technically not got until June 15th again. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I've got some employees, and I think it's something maybe I was wanting to get y'all's guidance on redoing the vacation policy, because technically the way that it should go is every year you get your vacation on your anniversary date, and you've got a year to use it to your next anniversary date. That way we're not losing it every year.
Going for a fiscal year.
Right, so right now, I've got 4 employees that, the sheet that you have, several of those employees have depleted their vacation this month, or will by the end of the month. But I have 4 employees who got their vacation late, or for whatever reason, I've got a couple of police officers and, a city hall employee and one of the water guys that have not been able to use their hours, and I would like to request y'all to take a vote and allow them to roll that over, and then let's look at changing this policy so that we're not having to do this every year.
so say for instance, they had 16 hours left over from, then they hit the anniversary date, you want those 16 hours to carry over to the next year?
Well, I don't want to see June 30th, everybody should lose their vacation that they have left, and I don't want to do that to these people. that-
Right, I don't be burned it.
Anniversary date to anniversary date.
Right, and that's not the way it's been done, so, and then you come in, like I said, you come into it where you've got an employee that gets vacation time in June, because that's their anniversary date, well then everybody gets it July 1st,
Yeah.
because that's the fiscal year. And instead of doing that, if you just always do it on the anniversary date, you don't run into
Okay,
that problem.
so how is vacation time being accrued? Is it not month to month?
We get a week a year. And
On their anniversary, from their hire date.
But why?
Front. Well, that's how the
No,
policy.
you get it on your anniversary date after 1 year, and then on your second anniversary, you get 2 weeks and 2 weeks every year after that. And it's just,
You don't accrue monthly or hours weekly. It's just after your first year, you get one week.
So then what happens if I become an employee and, I only work half a year, but I've already got my vacation? So when I leave, if I leave short,
you don't get it until
don't
your
get it
anniversary
till
day, so you've worked a year and earned that week. So if you leave the next day, you get paid for it.
Okay.
But you
But
don't,
one of
but
the
see, what
things-
you have to look at, let's say that this year is my 2 years on June 15th, which it was 3, but let's say it was my 2 years, and I just already got a week's vacation July 1st of last year, and then I'm gonna turn around and get 2 weeks July 1st. I've only been here 6 more weeks, but then if I leave, the way it's set up right now, if I leave August 1st, the city's responsible to pay me that 2 weeks because I've already been given that 2 weeks.
I don't think that's right.
That's why I wanna change it.
It's not right, because if
Well, I mean,
we,
that's why she's talking about doing
Yeah.
that, going from anniversary date to anniversary date.
And it
Because
puts,
what you get into is the end of the fiscal year, then you start the new year, then you've got, you're basically doubling up if you're not careful, is basically what's happening.
well, for instance, Donnie Simmons, we talked about that, where we're gonna pay him his vacation time,
well, he only had 16 and a half hours.
but he's gone.
He is gone, but vacation
that's
time
still
is
his,
payable when
you
you
gotta pay
leave,
it.
that's his
Yeah.
time.
You gotta pay it.
That's his
Now,
time.
Yeah,
he left
He's
on,
owed that.
he left on June 18th, so he was 12 days shy of getting 2 more weeks. So we actually, it
Won in that situation.
Huh?
We won in that
yes,
situation.
if he'd have
Well,
waited 2
yeah,
more
but,
weeks,
but
he
I'm
would've.
just saying that, I mean, like, if I have, 3 weeks accumulated with my job, and I quit, you're not gonna pay me that.
That ain't how it is.
I tell you how, the state works with us.
That's how I get it.
Vacation, or comp time or anything like that, when you left, you get paid out. Sick time, you didn't get paid out.
Right.
If you left, you lost that sick time, but if you came back, let's say you came back a year later, you would get that sick time that you had from prior. That's how the state does it. I don't know exactly how we do that.
We don't have that,
Sick time is the
Policy
only
in
thing
place.
they didn't pay out.
but that if we go, I just wanna get these guys approved so they can keep their vacation time. And then after the first and we get everything done, then I'll get with the attorney and see about getting that rewritten to where the vacation time is done on your anniversary day. And that's gonna put more work on me, cause right now everybody gets it on first, but I would rather do it this way and do it right than get into a situation where we're paying somebody 10 months early for their 2 weeks vacation when they quit.
Right.
So,
So, make a motion to extend their vacation
okay,
indefinitely, or just should we go with
I
deadline?
don't like it.
Sad.
I don't like it.
What was that?
I'd like to see the policy as it currently is written. Is that a fair question?
it is, but I don't have it with me, so I can't
figured
help
as
you on
much.
that.
I figured as much.
I mean, y'all saw my packet.
I know.
Yeah, but, really, if they just,
I mean, I don't even like the fact that it's sick and vacation separated. Why can't it be PTO?
Oh, we don't want to get into that.
No.
Why?
Cost you a fortune.
It does.
Yeah.
It's the same amount of hours.
And no, but then if they leave, you pay our PTO
Yeah.
out. This way we
That's,
don't
that
pay,
got
see,
me
we're
in a
only
lot of
paying
trouble here a
vacation
few
out.
years ago.
That's why we stopped the comp time, the very same, because we got into a situation where we owed a whole bunch of hours of comp time.
There's a way to do it. And you don't have to give them all of the hours of sick time. Especially if they haven't used it. But
Well, we
let's-
can always,
So hold
we
on,
can
hold
always
on,
do
hold
this.
on. I understand you don't like it. We got a motion on the floor. Do we have a second? I'll second.
Thank you.
Second by Michael Ford.
Mike Pierce,
No.
Bruce,
yes.
Denise,
Yes.
thank y'all.
Now,
But we can revisit
get
it.
Mike, yeah, we're gonna revisit. We get Michael.
I will get you a copy of the policy. It's gonna be the same policy that y'all,
Wherever it is.
it's in my office in a binder sitting on my desk that never leaves. I keep it right there
Thank
and I look at it often. Okay, the other thing was we never did decide which tractor I was supposed to send to. Just go with the cheapest.
Yeah.
You want the 60 horsepower or you want the big one?
No, Coyote, I think, or whichever one
Yeah.
it was.
They're
It's
G&D
48,000
cycles.
and some change.
Okay, we'll get it
That
done
come
on
with a
there.
grapple, and the other one was 58 plus another 7.
Okay, can we take a vote, please, on that?
Yeah, I'll make a motion. Oh, we need to.
I just gotta have it in the minutes so I can turn it into USDA.
I'll second.
This don't mean we're buying it, it just means we're getting it approved to send it in.
Apply for it, yeah.
Depending on grant approval.
Correct.
Yes.
Motion,
I
you got a
got
second?
it. Michael Ford,
Yes.
Denise,
Yes.
Renee.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll shut up then.
I think it was number 6 on the agenda.
We're getting there.
First reading, a budget amendment. That's number 6 on the agenda.
Yes.
Folks, appreciate y'all showing up. I know some of this is like watching paint dry, but this is stuff that's gotta be addressed.
Timely.
On the line item, I see 108.5%. Is that, explain that to me.
We went 10% over budget in financial administration,
Well, I saw
which is
that,
not horrible, that's just in financial administration.
right,
Yes,
and so I
And
saw
that's-
that, I
yes,
saw that trend throughout.
yes. The fire department, your percentage is 500%,
I saw that.
but we got a $64,000 state fire marshal's grant
Mhm.
that was not budgeted in, so that had to be put in, which is where you'll see the additional revenue down there. And then I also took some fire protection fees and did have to take some out of fund balance. The reason we had to do that on the fire department is because we had the fill station, we had to replace the overhead door. And then when we got the fill station, they had to put a whole new electrical box in at the fire department to make the fill station work.
We had to replace the motor.
Yeah, just the motor.
Just the motor, okay, and it wasn't covered by the grant, so we had to pay for it out of our pockets. Otherwise, we had a $65,000 piece of furniture sitting there.
I'm not even talking about these negatives in water.
There's enough of that already, haven't
He said it's not, just leave it alone.
You know, the biggest thing is, you know, we have spent money catching up stuff that had been neglected. So this should taper off to where it's not as bad.
We spent a lot of money this year, but we're just trying to catch up for the past
But we've got a lot of grant
15
money as
years.
well too.
Yes.
And so I saw police on here twice, I think. Did I not?
You got the regular police department budget, and then they also have a drug fund budget.
Okay.
And it was updated for the $10,000 that we received in the fines, forfeitures. And then they've spent a little bit of the money, but it's
Okay.
not completely depleted yet.
Okay. That's all the questions I had.
Any other questions, sir? Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Mark Pierce, second
I do.
by Ms. Denise Craig. Roll
Hold on,
call.
let me catch up.
Motion by Michael Pierce, second
Say by
by.
the next one. And Bruce,
we? Yes, ma'am.
Michael Ford,
Yes.
Renee,
Yes.
Trey.
Yes.
All right, now we're down to the budget ordinance.
No.
We definitely waive the reading.
I had to read it.
I don't think you can.
You can. You don't have to read it line by line. They made me my first year, and we were here till like 11.
I
And then
was with you.
oh, you were here, weren't you? And I'm over here going and line item. It was a very late night.
Anybody have any questions, concerns? Good answers?
Let's go drink some water.
Do you need another bottle of water?
No, baby, I'm seasoned.
I'll get you one.
I have a question. If this contract is written with the new water plant operator, is that a water plant? I mean, is that in the water? It's in the budget.
You'll see if you'll look on page 17, which is the water department budget. When everything took place yesterday morning, I went ahead and reduced water department salaries. And I put in down, if you'll see down at 250, it says contract labor professional services. I went ahead and put Mr. Jim in there just so y'all could see it and see it in the budget. Now, just remember, this is a working budget, so it may look completely different when we do the second reading, but I'll make sure everybody gets a copy of it before the next meeting, and you'll have notes for what I changed and why, so that you don't have to look through there and try to find out what's different.
So the salaries, 111,
Yes,
That's for,
Jackie,
okay.
John Lee, and Tyler. And then I think I've got one, Derek is half water, half street. I did that because general fund was there was a big deficit in general fund, so I moved them around a little bit because I had some room there. So I moved them around a little bit to give general fund a break.
But that line item 111, that includes his stuff too?
No, he's
No,
gonna be
he's
on
not.
line 250.
He got it.
Alright, I got another.
Okay.
258, 255.
Lab, 258 will come off. We will not have to pay that anymore. That's where we
Because
pay
he's
it to
gonna
bill.
do it.
Yeah.
That data processing, would
Um,
that something?
That is the machine, if I'm not mistaken, that's out there at your,
No, that's Twin Oaks. And
oh, the lab now, okay,
that's our software, maintenance fees,
Okay.
and things like that.
okay. 'Cause that bill was about the same amount.
No, yeah.
It's the update on that DR 3900 machine or whatever out here.
He still has to let me know if we gotta pay that.
But he said, yeah,
He did say yeah? Okay,
you're talking about that Hawk?
okay. And keep in mind, and I know y'all know this, a budget is a best guess. There's no way for me to know exactly what we're gonna spend on salaries because, and I did put a little cushion in there for some overtime. Of course, we've had discussions about really keeping that down so that we do stay a little bit closer in budget this year than what we did this past year. But it is just the best guess and we just have to try to keep within it as best as we can.
How did you factor in the increase for garbage
Let's see where you're at.
on page 16 at the top?
If you'll remember last year, our garbage rate was based on the revenue from the year before. We had a whole apartment complex that had a dumpster
Yep.
that had never been built, ever.
Yeah.
They were getting garbage for years for free. I went back, I could only go back 3 years. I sent them a bill and had them pay what they actually owed for those 3 years. That's included in there. And we did raise our solid waste rates, but in the process of finding that apartment complex, all of our commercial people were paying less than what Republic Service was charging us.
We had to increase that.
So everybody got a rate increase. So that's based on what I've sent them as far as, I've sent letters to each of our commercial people and said, your bill was this and now it's this.
It was like $70,000.
I'm never gonna complain about revenue. I just wanted to know
Absolutely.
where it was coming from.
The city got garbage messed up out of $70,000.
$50,000.
Yeah, really.
What did we do? Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
On page 18,
Okay.
operating supplies, chemicals, will that come off also?
No,
No,
it may
it
be
should be
reduced
reduced.
some because we won't be buying the lab supplies. He'll be providing those. The chemicals, it may be reduced some because he's trying to get us a cheaper price with a different company.
That's why he was doing
I think overall, the gap between what we were paying versus what we're gonna pay, I think he will save us that gap in the long run. I know he's done reached out to a different chemical company today, and they're gonna give us pricing, so hopefully it'll be cheaper on the bleach, whatnot that's needed out there.
Now on page 17, the last thing that I did today, and as I said, this is a working copy, so this number might change because I did that on my own, and I really want Robert Kelley to look at it. If you'll look at right up at the top where it says metered services, water and sewer, this year we were projected at $460,000, and with the rate increase, we're looking at $550,000, and I'm thinking that's not quite where we need. So that's going to definitely increase that revenue. Where the guys are like, well, we need 60 meter boxes. We don't have the money to buy 60 meter boxes. Well, we might have a little bit more revenue now where we can get those things that we need desperately.
Sammy, what about the fluoride issue?
He will discuss that at a later date.
And the second reading is gonna be the 20,
I initially said next
Nine.
Thursday. I have to put it in the paper.
10
It has
days.
to be 10 days after the day it's publicized in the paper, so we'll have to do it Monday the 29th. That way I can
Get
work
it
all
to the
day the
state,
30th
right?
and get it to the state with all the documentation. Which I've got 14 days, but I want to have it all turned in and be done with it.
and then we'll have all of these, removals that we've talked about zeroed out, like you said, lab analysis, you said.
Yes, that'll come out.
And then we'll have a different, budget, because this is,
It will look different. You'll get a copy of it prior to that. I'll probably get it to you the Friday before, so y'all will have the weekend. And I'll probably email it to you and send you that email with a copy of the budget and a copy of my notes on what was changed and why it was changed and where I got my figures. That way you can compare it to what it was.
That's good, because on these days, Wednesday, I can't look at that. I'm so excited by the time I get this.
So basically, you're just passing up, you're voting tonight just to say, okay, we've seen it and we know she's still working on it.
I'll make a motion.
And I second it.
He's like, I'm ready to go.
Where's the tacos?
Motion by Michael Ford, second by Renee. Roll call.
Bruce,
Yes, ma'am.
Michael Pierce,
yes.
Denise,
Yes.
Trey.
Yes.
Who said tacos? I was gonna say, she knows better than to say tacos in front of me. I'll go to Daryl Cox right now.
No, you know who's got the best? The Dairy Queen.
Hey, y'all talk about this.
Number 8. Number,
Oh, he said, I got to go.
It's probably in bed. It's almost
No,
9
he's not.
o'clock.
He's waiting on Pop.
Reading a resolution to utilize MTAS for recodification of municipal code.
that's this. ISA, ISA,
Yes, yes.
you're gonna waive it?
Yes, we're gonna waive the reading.
Now, this will cost us $3,500. It can be split into 2 years. We don't have to pay it all in 1 year. And it's not been done in about 30, 40 years.
Been a long time.
How is our government?
Recodification of the,
1989.
there you go.
1989.
So,
Oh,
and
Jesus.
part of it will be done, we are getting a intern from the state that's no cost to us. And the two things, she asked me what I needed as far as my office is concerned, and I said I need somebody to work on my resolutions and ordinance books, minutes books and all that. But we also want to work on the cemetery records because they are a mess. They've been pilfered through over the years, and so that person will kind of do part of this. They'll help MTAS get everything. Everything will be renumbered. Everything will be online. We're going to look at doing a digital where people can go online and find anything they want as far as city records are concerned.
I make a motion.
Because I need another project.
Motion by Renee,
Second.
second by Trey. Roll call.
Bruce,
Yes, ma'am.
Michael Pierce,
Yeah.
Michael Ford,
Yes, ma'am.
Denise.
Yes.
We'll pass the Corrective Action Plan. Chief Tubbs.
That's actually one of the things I was gonna ask was the ordinance. We got a couple that's reading. If you go online to MTAS, City of Ridgely, City and Towns, you'll see the ordinance. It's actually got everybody updated as far as who's in their positions, but the ordinance is still the same on there. And that's for our citizens to look at anytime they want to. So what we're doing when we're going around writing these ordinances for unsightly yards and things like that, some of these ordinances, they're not written right. Well, for example, I have one that we cite people in for inoperable vehicles in the yards. So I told Beth, I said I can't continue citing these people in because it's not on our website. But she found this where on April 13th, 2023, it was actually voted in by the board to change the wording in that hazardous or unsightly property, and that's going to be
They did the first vote, not the second. right?
Section 8-105, where that was added in there. It's just not. It never has been added, even though it was voted on that night. It's just never been added into the wording. So
Well,
if we have
It never was
citizens,
voted on the second
Except
vote.
that we do
We
it.
didn't just vote on it.
So if you have citizens that get in there and look at that, and they
So
think
has
that
to
they're
be
doing the
voted
right
the second
thing.
time, voted on the second?
I think you have
I
to start
think y'all
over.
would probably have to start over because it's a whole
Especially if
board.
they're in
So we also have, we have one where we cited a guy in because his shed was in the front yard. It's not in our ordinance anywhere. You have this proposal where they proposed it, let's do this, but they never followed through.
That happened a lot
Yeah,
on a lot of subjects.
so
Okay.
I'm citing people in on the city ordinance, and what's gonna happen is the citizens are gonna read that, and they're gonna come in here
They're
and
gonna
get
book
a
on
ticket. And it could cause us a lot of problems.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's actually what I was gonna bring to you. Also, our K9 handler and our K9 are certified for narcotics right now. They got certified yesterday.
Good deal.
So he's out working.
Dollar.
Good deal. Yes.
Dollars on the job.
That was on the job.
Well, what about, as far as addressing those issues, Jason, what about if we try to put that on the agenda for next month?
What's that?
To correct.
The order.
Well, that's what,
Well, I think that's
that's
what
what
this.
we're doing.
Yeah, I think that's what that was.
Just
I didn't
corrective
know-
action?
Yeah, I didn't know you guys had that on there. So
So
that's
that's
what I was
they're
bringing.
gonna put the whole deal, the whole ordinance.
Oh,
Yeah,
Make sure we're up to date.
I just didn't want to have, our guys go over and we cite this person in for this, and then they look online and they read, and I was like, we
because,
didn't know.
I'm looking at your list, and you're right, it needs to be in concordance with everything, if you're gonna try to make it
And that
be
list
stick.
you got, we sent 5 more letters today, but I was gonna, what was I fixing to say? Oh, we can go ahead, because this recodification process is not gonna happen overnight. This is gonna be, first of all, we're gonna be put on a waiting list. Because there are so many towns that are doing this right now that there is a waiting list. It may be months before we actually get approval and get the project started. It may be 2 years before we get done. So things like that we need to address, we
We
can
can
go
do,
ahead and get the attorney
So
to,
I'll get a few
rewrite.
together and bring it to the next board meeting, put it on the agenda for the next board meeting for you guys to get the ball rolling on that.
Yeah.
I just don't want us getting in the bind in here
I agree.
and looking at a lawsuit.
Yeah, want it done, but need to go about it the right way, so I guess I got you thinking, man.
David? Got anything, everything good?
Everything's good. I got all the graveyard sprayed, mowed, did some dirt work on some graves out there, straightened up a bunch of graves. Been in town for about a week and a half, spraying, mowing, cleaning out ditches, weed eating, put all the new flag poles up on the end cap out into Mile Lane Park back here, downtown. Put new flag pole up at the graveyard.
flags look
They look
great.
good.
Everything looks so good.
Everything does look good.
Been spraying all the ditches up here in town, trying to get, the weeds and the weed are growing in them.
Hey, I was gonna ask, like going down Poplar Street, like in front of Miss Blanche's house there, that big house, where you sprayed, there's a little step down, like from the sidewalk down to the ground, and you sprayed that in. Do y'all go back and do something with that, or do you just let it die? And
They sprayed that.
Oh, they spray it.
But I am Monday, probably, I didn't have time to do anything Monday, I'm gonna go down through there and weed eat all that stuff.
okay,
And I'm trying to get everything downtown and all the roads leading into the main roads
understand.
leading into downtown looking good before we have that thing.
I
in
agree.
July.
I agree.
That's what I'm
heard.
trying to do.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
Number 9.
Hey, can I add something right quick, Shane? I know everybody's ready to get out of here. So the unfit structure that we have over on Bedford Forest, so I issued him a citation, one for dog at large, but I also served him for unfit structure. And we set a hearing date. He didn't show up for his court date or his hearing date. Now, it says in our ordinance exactly what we're supposed to do next is we can send him a certified letter, letting him know that we're gonna act on this, or I can hand it to him in person. But where I'm at right now, I've actually, reached out to, our attorneys and she didn't get back with me today, but now I have a concern also. Our ordinance is pretty old, so that's why I did reach out to her. Before I go to that next step, I want to ask her, okay, this is what it says our next step should be. is that really what we need to be doing? Because, you know, things change, just 30-something years, things change, so before I move forward and we send a certified letter or I hand this to him in person, I want to make sure we're doing the right thing so we don't mess around and get a lawsuit. Because the next step states that we're to get him out of that house and to condemn it immediately.
And when we condemn something like that, does that mean the house has to come down, or is it just
No,
gonna sit
not
there?
immediately. What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to board up the front windows and the side windows, not the back. We're supposed to put a placard on there stating that no one's to enter this property, it's condemned property. But you also have a human being living there that is living in a condition unimaginable.
And has nowhere to go.
And has nowhere to go. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. We're gonna put it.
Does he draw a check?
I'm not sure. I don't know his.
Is there any utilities on the house?
There is. Yeah. He has running water. He has electricity.
So he has some source of income.
This is the.
I think he is on.
He's on a fixed income, I believe. But this is the thing. He is a human being. Where is he going to go? What can we do for him?
To make
Because
it better.
regardless, that place is going to have to come down. He's got to get out of there. We had a death about a week before Christmas, and then we turned around and had a death January the 1st, both in that house. The autopsy report came back that it was some type of bacteria. I don't know if it was caused from that, but I can tell you guys this: when I walked into that house,
Horrible conditions.
Well, I, as a suggestion, I would law enforcement contact APS.
been done.
And what did they say?
It's been done. It's not a fast acting process. So now that I have, that's what I reached out to Christy
Sounds like
about.
you meant for it to sound like that.
No, it didn't sound.
So this is the thing. You're good. APS is going to get involved now that we've actually served him with a hearing. Prior to that, I mean, there's been so many calls on this guy, not just from us, but also concerned citizens.
You got neighbors that's really complaining.
It hadn't went anywhere.
I was just gonna say like Sun Valley or something like
So,
that. If he has a
yeah,
check,
absolutely.
he could go put an application in
Nursing
there.
home something, but I think with us citing him and having him for a hearing and he didn't show, that basically, as far as our ordinance reads, it took everything away from him as far as what he can do. So that's why I wanted to reach out to Christy. I think once we do that, we move to the next step. Now, I think APS is going to have to assist also. Where in the past, not so much.
And they still may not resolve it.
I just want to make sure that we're doing the right thing and we don't mess around and get sued or we don't harm this person over here in any way.
Number 9, did we not just do that with Robert?
No.
Okay.
No, this is the MOMCAP thing, that the big packet that I emailed y'all.
Right.
Corrective Action Plan, we just have to adopt that. Just that, and that gets us, once we adopt this and it gets turned into the state, they will no longer fine us for the sewage lagoon. And we will have time to get the grant in place and all that, because we've already paid about 10 grand in fines for that lagoon, and that will
Sooner
stop
the
our
better.
fines.
I'll make a motion.
He's like, let me get right on
I
that.
second.
Yeah.
Sooner the
Shut
better.
their water off.
That's second by Renee.
All right, Bruce?
Yes.
Michael Pierce?
Yes.
Denise?
Definitely.
Trey?
Yes.
And the only other thing that I've got, because it's not on your list, I got a call today. We got a grant, another grant approved.
Just don't let me read that, or
I just figured you were just not going to say anything about it. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. I just thought you were going to forget, and I was
I've got
excited.
everything right here.
I was excited. I was excited.
We got an $80,000 grant from Mile Lane Park, walking track and drainage repairs with no match. It's the active living workshop and having a strategic plan and parks plan. So,
That's awesome.
parks plan, parks.
And you said it's to do what now? Did I hear
It
you say?
is to repair the walking track and drainage repairs.
half mile length.
There's
Is there flooding out
time
there?
flood issue out there.
Also, just to update, we're still dealing with $6.1 million worth of grants. We've completed $340,000 worth. They are out at the water plant starting to do the repairs and stuff out there as well. I don't have anything yet.
And IPG is fixing to start on the 29th, so if y'all see smoke rolling out of houses, it doesn't mean it's on fire. Just saying.
Anybody have anything, citizens, questions?
Who's the city gonna tear down their buildings? Condemn,
The one right over here, just as soon as he gets done,
that one and the civic center too,
Civic Center's not coming down right now.
it's been condemned, hasn't it?
No, sir, it has not.
Got to work on that.
Okay. Anybody else got anything?
When will the water bill increase?
I've been looking at it for 7 years.
Ma'am?
August one.
August 1st.
August.
Anybody else?
I've been looking at all that mess for about 60 years over where I'm at. And they owe me about 2 cars that is from the shop. Which used to be zone commercial and they pulled something right here and it changed.
Hold on, who pulled something?
I don't know. It's
How long
not
ago?
Commercial anymore.
How long ago that happened?
I don't know. I went up and paid taxes and it's not commercial anymore.
They didn't have nothing to do with this board though.
I don't know. Somebody's guilty. Another
Why is he
thing,
leaving?
that company didn't catch that garbage thing for 4 years.
Do what now?
Why didn't they catch that garbage?
You need to ask Steve Jones, he was mayor from
I
16
know,
to
but
20.
somebody had to put it in the books. Why was it left open?
I started in 23 and found it in
4 years,
25.
not
25.
nobody knows it's there.
That had nothing to do with this board.
Well, somebody did.
Well, she
She just found it when this board come in, so that's, ought to be grateful for that. But I mean, prior
It
to,
didn't help me.
No.
well, it didn't help me either, but I mean, it helped the city. Anybody else got anything else?
Thank you guys.
Yes,
Anybody
thank
got anything?
Anyone?
Thank you for staying with us.
And thanks for the Walker Street cleanup, for the city guys, that was great.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I do.
I second it.
I was
Second by Bruce.
Anybody want say
All in
no?
favor, say aye.
Nope.
Ah.
All right.
Any opposed?
I was trying to figure the 9. Set a rep fee, but
Already.
Hold on. I gotta have a signature.